Video. Okay.
All
Are we
right.
live?
Are
We're
we
live.
live? We're
We
live?
are
How do I see the
live.
chat from here? How can I see the chat?
Use that link I sent you. Okay.
Oh, I have
there
this. Oh boy. I gotta look for this. Wait. Wait.
Okay. What's up, guys? It's KikiZilla 101 here yet again, and welcome back to another stream. Today we're going to be doing a spoilers Godzilla King of the Monsters discussion stream. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want it spoiled, don't watch the stream. But if you do want to either get it spoiled or want to talk about it after you've watched it, then stay around and we're going to have some fun. I have two guests with me currently. I have Star Wars Jabaro and I have Chris Kaizen over from their channels. I was going to say another channel, but I'll stop myself right there. And so actually this is really exciting because we actually have Star Wars Jabaro's face reveal. So I'll let him introduce himself.
Oh, really? Oh, well, hey guys. Yeah, I'm Star Wars Jabaro. This is the first live stream I'm doing, so I'm a bit nervous, but glad you guys can join in, hear us discussing for the movie. It's a real pleasure having to discuss this with fellow Godzilla YouTubers or / Dino tubers in case of KikiZilla. But a basic background: I've been a Godzilla fan since Cinemassacre. When I stumbled on Godzilla Fun, it just clicked, I guess, and I've been a fan ever since. And I really love the series. Basically, there's some of it is good, some of it is bad, but it's Godzilla and it's close to my heart. You guys can see my T-shirt from here. So yeah.
All right, and then we have Chris Kaizen.
Hello. I don't really know what to. I mean, I guess for those of you who don't know who I am, yeah, I've been in the, I guess, online Godzilla community for a while now. I started out as Goji Fan 93, but then retired from that, and now I'm doing this. But at the same time, I don't really know what I'm doing at the moment, so I'm just kind of just doing this for fun. But yeah, it's good to be here. I always love doing these kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, and if you guys have seen the community posts around this, D-Man 1954 is supposed to show up. He is a little late right now, if you haven't noticed. He might show up partway to the stream, but we aren't going to be able to wait forever, so we're just going to get the stream going. If he does show up, then we'll introduce him then. So anyways, we have a couple topics that we want to get through today. Every time we finish up a topic, we'll do a little chat segment where we can answer any of you guys' questions. You guys can contribute to the discussion and whatnot. So we're just going to be kind of chillaxed, but we just have a couple points that we wanted to discuss throughout the stream here. So before we start off, does anybody have any questions right now before we actually get into the topics?
Us or the audience?
You guys or the audience, anything.
I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the chat here now. Now I don't see any questions there at the moment.
Ghidorah? Is that a ship between Ghidorah and Mothra? Well, that Monster Island Buddies beat you to the punch, bud.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Don't remind me that.
Every time they make love, it's an orgy.
You got me with the accent. Every time they make love, it's an orgy.
My gosh. I started really okay. So I don't think that we have any questions. All right, so let's start off with our just overall / summary of our experience or thoughts of the film. Who wants to go first?
I think you should go first, Kiki.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, so just to summarize, I freaking loved the movie. I don't think it's a perfect movie. I think it's an amazing movie. I like it more than the 2014 movie, which is surprising. That was my favorite Godzilla movie for a long time. And I think it's currently my favorite Godzilla movie with GMK being pushed down to second place. So, yeah, I really liked it a lot. What about you, Star Wars Jabaro?
Oh, well, of course, I love the movie. I watched it twice. I was going to watch it the third time, but, couldn't be able to watch it out the theater too early. But compared to the 2014 Godzilla, which I remember having much hype, I really loved it much more. There's a lot of factors. I'll go in detail once we go in the lists. But to me, it's my dream Godzilla movie because it hit all the notes that I want to see in a movie, at least a Godzilla movie. And I really, really enjoyed it. I would compared to 2014, which it took me years to watch it again, I will watch King of the Monsters any day, any moment again.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
So,
2014 is a lot less rewatchable of a movie.
but it's not as bad.
Yeah.
It's not a.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what about you?
Yeah, for me, I mean, it was amazing. I've actually only seen it once. I was meaning to see it again with my parents, but that just never happened with schedules and all that stuff. So I haven't been able to see it a second time. So I'm going off this from literally the first day it came out. So from what I can remember, I still think it was fantastic. I mean, it was literally everything that I wanted it to be and more. And it did what it needed to do. It didn't need to be a deep spiritual movie with feels. It just needed to be a monster romp, and I think that that's what it did perfectly. Yeah, all the designs are fantastic. It actually made me like Mothra.
I think we all are in the same boat in that case. We all didn't like Mothra, but now we like her.
True that.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, it was great and definitely a rewatchable movie. Like I'll be able to go back to this movie probably a lot. And yeah, 2014, not so much. Can't really go back to that one as much. Nah, you have to be in a certain mindset to watch that movie again. But this one, yeah, it's just like pop it in anytime. And you're good.
I would definitely agree with that. And to wrap it up again, and just so you guys remember, Chris has only seen it once. Star Wars Jabbar has seen it twice. Wants to see it a third time, but didn't. And I've seen it 5 times. So I've seen it a lot, so I probably have the freshest memory of it.
Why did you want to see it that many times?
Well, because I was out in California visiting my friend Cesar, and we were just having a blast. And so we the second time we saw it was actually free. We got tickets because they messed up our John Wick showing, so we got free tickets. We used that, and then we saw it in 4D, and we saw it in again with another friend that we met it up with. So it just kind of worked out. We saw it all 4 of the first days it was out in a row.
Oh my god!
And then I recently watched it with my family again. So
got it.
I was crazy, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you're so crazy. You're so crazy.
Oh yeah. I'm still crazy.
I agree.
Anyways, so let's move on to actually the chat. So what were your guys' overall opinions of the movie? What would you say that you thought of it overall? And while we're waiting for that, well, actually, you mentioned John Wick. I binged the trilogy in 3 days. What do you think of the series? John Wick, it's one of my favorite series of all time. I love those movies. I love them a lot. What do you guys think?
Those movies.
You haven't seen any of them?
I haven't seen them.
I would highly recommend it.
I want to, though.
I haven't seen them either, but they say they're really good. And plus, Keanu Reeves is a cool actor. He's breathtaking.
I love him.
We crash, we raid, but most importantly, we made of old cheese. Thank you, Binoculsaurus.
Oh, I'm not on all chat. I was on top chat, so I wasn't even seeing all the messages. That's great. I love Rodin's design and Ghidorah's theme. Ghidorah's theme is awesome. We'll get back to that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm waiting for that. I don't know, but we can just say, ask like, guys, what's your was this a good movie? Was it good? How many times you watched the movie, guys? We can go.
How many times did you guys watch the movie? Did any of you guys do anything crazy?
Yeah, you're just as insane as Aiden was.
Or is it just me? I did see one person on Instagram comment on one of Godzilla's things, and they said they saw it 5 times as well. So there is one other person out there as crazy as me besides the person I went to see.
One person to rival Kiki.
Yeah.
Over there on Instagram or Twitter. I don't remember.
Oh, here's Cesar, the person I actually watched it with. He's ArtsyDilo. He saw it 4 times. He saw it 4 times with me, and he's going to see it his 5th this Sunday.
Okay, so there's someone that's crazy then.
Yep, he's there.
Watched it twice. I watched it 4. Dimetrodon 32.
Josh.
Watched it 4 times.
Okay, Josh Rosenfield, you were right. Bear McCreary is a god.
Yeah, that's one thing too. The music in this was phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
that was perfect.
But we'll get there soon. We'll get there soon. We'll get to the godly music.
It became my new fave. Oh yeah. Going for 8 times.
Oh my god. We know how the international is gonna go. It's because of ArtsyDilo. He's gonna watch it 8 times. No, make it 8,000 times.
Yeah, support the movie. Pull your weight, man. All right.
Boston.
Now let's move on to the story section. So,
yeah.
Do you want me to go first again?
Yeah, you should go first.
Well, I'll start off by saying I'm extremely happy that they made the story centralized around Monarch. I thought that was great because I loved Monarch inside 2014. I thought it was so cool how they have this mysterious organization that knows about the monsters and that they've been following them and studying them for like 50, 60 years. And so I thought that was really cool that they actually used Monarch as the center of the story here. And they also tied the main family characters back into the 2014 movie directly with how their family was actually affected by that. And I really think they tied the humans in very well with the monsters. There was actually, I think that there might have been just as many, if not more, scenes where the humans were on screen and directly correlating with what the monsters were doing than there wasn't any correlation with what the monsters were doing. So I thought they really tied them in well there, and I thought the story was just really well done overall. What about you, Star Wars?
Well, my favorite part of the 2014 movie was other than John Cranston, it was Ken Watanabe as Sarasawa. I thought he really brought like a different, because he brought the spirit of the Japanese element to the movie, but he was barely in it. As soon as he started talking more than like 5 sentences that wasn't trailer talk, I knew that this movie is gonna be better. I really love the human character. I loved them a bit more than the 2014 movie. I felt the family was much more. It was much more of an emotional impact. There was some parts I was kind of like, it's just a bit weird. I'll get that later when we get to the characters, but I do like that it focuses on Monarch. It should have been with Monarch, or at least for a sequel. It's great that they focus, because a sequel, in my eyes, and I think many people can agree, is supposed to open the story. It's a larger universe. You got the small event that's the first story, and then you open up. And you can see in a lot of movies like Star Wars, for example, that it starts with Luke and then it expands. We have Darth Vader and his father and all this mythology. And I really like that. And it expands with the Titans, like with the whole underground. There's a lot of things to go into it. So I really think it. And the monsters, like this movie has the best parts of the monsters. It doesn't shy too much away. It's like how Michael Dougherty says, like Gareth Edwards' Godzilla is like Alien. You only see the creature once in a while, but the impact is still there. And this is more like Aliens. You see the monsters and you get to see us more, and there's more of an impact because of that. And I really love the story overall. The only thing that I just didn't like was the plot of the eco, like the whole like humans are destroying the planet. That's overdone, but they didn't dwell on that too much, at least. So
I would disagree with that, but anyways,
it's okay. It was a good movie. It didn't slow down the movie. I still loved it at the end, and I was like wanting for more.
That little hey.
Okay.
The dogs they go off the hook randomly. I swear they bark more if I'm live streaming.
Hey, what happens? That usually happens when I'm playing like games. My dogs like to bark a lot. All right. Yep. So what about you, Chris Kaizen? What do you think about the story?
I mean, once again, I thought it was fine. I thought it did what it needed to do. I cared about these characters way more than I did 2014's by far. I mean, because the only person I really cared about in 2014 was Bryan Cranston's character. That was it. And then he gets killed off halfway. So, I mean, yeah, this one, there's like no complaints for me on story-wise. I mean, they played their roles. Yeah, was it cliche? Yeah, but it's a Godzilla movie. I don't know what people were expecting.
Exactly.
So, I mean,
this isn't Shakespeare.
Yeah, it's that's actually, I never heard that quote that you were talking about with the whole that Gareth Edwards Godzilla is more of Alien, and this is like Aliens. So it's like one's more, quieter, subtle, and then the next one is just bombastic and crazy. So that's actually a perfect way to compare the two.
I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, and then the family character, like I was worried about the main character, the dad. I don't know his name, the actor, but
Kyle Chandler.
But I have seen him in like other movies, and I was a little worried that he wasn't going to fit in this movie as well, but I mean, he was like by far the best dad I've ever seen in a Godzilla movie, really. So, and then it was funny because I think Aiden, I don't know if you told me or reminded me that he was in the King Kong Peter Jackson's movie too. So I'm like, oh, duh. So
Bruce
that was pretty
Baxter,
cool,
that was
too.
his character.
It's not his first lingo with some kaiju,
The
man.
giant monster. Yeah. So
Titan action.
I like him, and that the daughter was great. The mom, I will admit, had a weird character motivation.
Exactly.
But I guess during that whole twist part, when you find out that that she hired the terrorists or whatever, I guess it was like, oh, okay, I get it. She's just crazy. All right, that's fine. So
I mean, they could have handled that much better.
yeah, that could have been a little bit better, but I mean, honestly, it was there's like no complaints story wise, and I mean the monsters in there were fine. The only problem, Aiden knows this, my problem with these films is that it does seem like once again they have all these monsters that are coming up, and they're just kind of shoehorned in to sell the next movies, to sell the next whatever it's going to be in the monster verse. And so I don't like how it's like a big commercial, for the next ones. But hey, whatever. Because I guess that's one when we get to them. This is probably the one thing I might not really enjoy that much was those other monsters, but we'll talk about them when we get to them. But yeah, I mean, other than that, it was good. Way leagues better, more entertaining than 2014 by far.
And hopefully that Godzilla vs. Kong, now we have the aliens analogy. Hopefully Godzilla vs. Kong is an alien resurrection or something like that.
Odds are probably
Alien 3.
Maybe Alien 3, or maybe Prometheus. No, maybe something good. Maybe
there hasn't been a good Aliens movie since Aliens, so that's
maybe Return of the King or something.
I wanted to go back to you were talking about the mother part of the story where she was like the crazy person. The part that confuses me is I think that everything with her motivation is sound to me, except where she makes the transition from trying to figure out an explanation to why her son died to figuring out that she needs to save the planet, which just it seems like a leap, because like the rest of it, like her motivation, like seeing that humans are destroying the planet, I'm like, okay, yeah, that all makes sense. I understand why she believes that releasing the Titans is going to fix that, because they're going to put the humans in check. I can totally understand that part, but it's where she like back then off screen, where did she make that leap from going like, oh my god, my son's dead, what do I do, to, oh, I need to save the world? Like, yeah, I don't exactly quite get that.
I think I can add maybe something to that. Maybe she was it's just the trauma. Remember that in this universe, 24, the San Francisco, the battle that took place was kind of like a huge event basically, and people were very scarred of it. So it must be the trauma. And when people have like a trauma, they don't think straight. And if you read the comics, actually, this is Aftershock. I read it before watching the movie. She actually was willing to help Godzilla and all that kind of stuff. Spoilers for Aftershock, by the way. I didn't say that beforehand.
I don't read the comic book, so.
Oh well, I just bought it because I'm gonna read it so I can get to the point in time. So I think that actually it was more to like the fear of maybe, I don't know, the coming to trauma and desperation. Maybe she was seeing the Monarch was not like how Kyle Chandler's character reacted. Like, why didn't you kill these things? And maybe she thought that this is crazy, and she just sided with him, because in the comic, Jonah Allen was actually I forgot his name. He started chasing her all over the world. Yeah, Alan Jonah. Oh god. And he actually was after her looking for something. So it doesn't specify what it is. Hoping the movie would clarify it, but and I think it's that. Yeah, maybe she just saw that maybe what happened on 2014, how the inability of the soldiers, the inability of how it was all turned out, because they brought a nuke into a city of people in the Bay. I would question that if that would happen. So I think she just lost faith in humanity and just went full crazy there, until then she noticed that, wait, my dead son will love this. What is going on with me? And then she just, and maybe
because her daughter told her so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, it was like a realization. And when the process of losing her daughter again, that symbolism at the end, that like mirror, it kind of like, wait, doing the wrong thing. That's where I'm at.
Actually has a pretty interesting comment here. He said, personally, I liked it about the same level as 2014. This one had more monster fights, but I feel 2014 had superior visuals.
I agree and disagree at the same time.
Interesting.
I was actually talking about to Star Wars Jabaro the other night about this, actually last night about this. I would kind of agree. I just, at least in the visuals part, I do think that the angles and the framing was a lot better in 2014. I think the CGI was, dare I say, the CGI in 2014 might have been a little bit more consistent than in 2019, but I don't think it's too jarring of a difference. But I do recognize it.
I just see 2014 is too much dark of a movie. Like,
it's too dark at the end for sure.
Like, Jesus, like at least
what would you say, Chris? I see that you're trying to say something.
No, I'm just thinking, but I think that I'll agree 2014 was more consistent because it was subtle. It was way calmer. There was Mutos too, but I mean, it wasn't as insane apocalyptic visuals as this one was. So I think I disagree because Godzilla 2, because I hate calling it King of the Monsters, but whatever. That Godzilla 2 I think it had better visuals because it was just so awe-inspiring of what we were seeing on screen, like just those shots and just the lighting and the effects of the clouds when King Ghidorah would show up, or Mothra or Rodan, the fire, the lava that's spilling off of him or whatever. But maybe 2014 to some people might look better because it was way more calm. It was way like not as in your face, like keys dangling in front of a baby or something like that. So I mean, I can understand how Dino Man thinks that 2014 has superior visuals, and I mean, if that's what you want, and sweet, but I would disagree just on the fact that it was way more colorful and there was just so much more going on screen that it was just like it was just a little. I mean, in some cases it might be a little too much, maybe, but I do think the visuals were really top notch in this one. So
yeah. I feel the only part where I would say that, in my opinion, I feel like the framing is a little off is there's some scenes where I feel like the camera was too close to the monsters. I really couldn't see enough of what was going on.
Yeah, that's just an American problem. We always do that.
Yeah. Probably the worst example is when Mothra and Rodan are fighting. I really wish I could have seen that a lot better.
Pretty close,
But I guess they weren't doing much more than spinning, doing like a talon lock and spinning. So.
I like the camera, to be honest. Like, I really love it. Like, all the parts, just the monsters. Like I told you, this Kiki, like when Godzilla just comes out of the hole when he drops down, and he just looks so mean. Like, oh boy, this is gonna get good. And Ghidorah flies out. But I love the shots. I don't really complain much of cinematography. Maybe the shot when Godzilla's like in the Antarctic, when we see his face before he roared, it's a bit weird. And maybe when he gets when he gets out of the water, it looks super cool. But like some shots and the zoom-ins are kind of okay, but whatever. Like,
I don't know exactly how I feel about the camera zooms.
Yeah,
that's also just an American film trend.
I don't like it in Star Wars, but I do like it in
many. Yeah, it's in so many films nowadays. It's not just this. So that's not on this film's fault. I think that's just a trend that's going on in Hollywood right now. It's just this zooming fetish that we have with films.
Yeah, we'll get to that later, ArtsyDilo. But Bionicle Thor said, well, I bet nothing in this movie is as comically terrifying as Shin Godzilla's first form.
You mean Kamato?
You are right. He is right.
I mean, it's adorable. Adorably disturbing.
It's uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually saw like a ketchup bottle with that. It was pretty hilarious.
Josh Rosenfield said, well, Kiki, there are deleted scenes that could contain more of their fight. That's true, but I love it.
No, actually, I heard from an interview. I actually went and sit down and listened. Most of this deleted scenes are maybe just with the humans. Like, there's one about like Ghidorah's tooth, but I don't know if there's any extra monster scenes there. So
makes sense. I mean, usually deleted scenes are for that other, not not action.
Before you really commit to making a lot of that really expensive CGI for a monster
you
fight,
make
something
sure
like
it
that,
works. Yeah.
make sure it works.
Yeah,
so yeah, I really don't think there's gonna. If there are deleted monster fights between Rodan and Mothra, they're gonna be like smooth models that have like barely any animations to them. Yeah, like no textures. They're just gonna be like placeholders. So I really wouldn't get too excited if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, and it's probably gonna be just dialogue of the Monarch crew talking because Michael Dougherty said that basically it was just extra dialogue of them talking, and they just got it out because we have too many people talking. You have everybody talking at the same time, so that's most of it's gonna be just more filler basically between the monster scenes.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, me too.
I also feel that 2014 was far more realistic as far as what actually would happen in real life. That is not necessarily a bad thing, but it makes that very hard to accept that these are the same universe. I would agree that there is some differences in terms of like the way that the monsters are depicted. It is a little different. Like the ones in this movie are a lot faster. They don't feel as big or as heavy. I think Gareth Edwards had his size down. Like he really knew how to sell the size of the monsters. I think Michael Dougherty was good at it in some parts, but I think some parts weren't as good. And I think that it could have been done better in some areas. So I would agree with that.
It's also just what happens when you have two different directors take on the same series. Of course, there's going to be different feelings and tone and the way that the camera moves and all that stuff. I mean, it's just bound to happen. And once again, it just comes to the fact that this movie was meant to be more of an action romp Hollywood blockbuster. 2014 was more of sit down, turn your brain on, kind of really analyze and blah blah blah. So it's So I mean, that makes sense. I agree with that completely. That they do feel a little disjointed because of what happens in that one and in 2014.
At the same time, I do feel like it's a natural progression from going from this realistic discovery of these things that are otherworldly, like how the hell do these things exist? And you're analyzing it, you're discovering, you're like, what the heck? And then once it's revealed, you move to a stage where people start looking at them and I guess dealing with them in different ways. Some people just want them gone. Some people see them as mythical gods.
Well, actually, the stakes have to be raised. You can't just remake 2014. People are gonna get pissed again. You can't just keep on doing the teasing of showing monsters and then taking the camera away. It's like, no, we know what these monsters look like now, so you better show them. So I mean, if you just that's how a sequel and the third one could work.
You gotta go a little bit crazier in this movie, anyways, because you have King Ghidorah, 3-headed gold.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
you have a lava pteranodon.
It's a Godzilla movie romp. You gotta get all the crazy.
To be honest, I do love the realistic approach of 2014, but I do think 2019 has some realistic approach. I mean, as I said earlier, it's an impact. We're just seeing the repercussions, the aftershock, if you may will, of all the what happened. The thing I don't like that much is that they changed it. I don't mind it, but they changed from Mutos to Titans. So it's like
I don't like that name because it just reminds me of Attack on Titan. I just can't take it seriously.
I just I was like hoping for kaiju. I was hoping for them to actually use that, but I guess
I disagree with that. I don't like. I think if they use kaiju, it would be like because I do like their names. Come on, guys! Like when you hear Titanus Gojira, that sounds great. That sounds like powerful.
It grew on me for sure.
Wait, was that one of the names?
Yeah.
What was it again?
Titanus Gojira, Titanus Ghidorah, Titanus Rodan, and Titanus Mosura.
They're using genus and species names incorrectly in a fictional way. Because, like, in the real world...
Weird. It just makes you think of Titanus. You're combining Titanosaurus' name with every other monster. It's just weird.
Well, we have Titanosaurus.
Oh, God, that just sounds stupid.
It's Titanus, not Titanosaurus.
Well, I know, but it's like the first part of his name, Titana. It's weird.
I recently watched the Japanese uncut version of Godzilla 1954, and I realized all of the references to the original Godzilla in 2019, and I really appreciate that once I realized it. Mm-hmm. There were a lot. Are there any?
Yeah, there's one here. Was part. Oh my God.
Doc here said 2014 was barely did you answer this one, Kiki? 2014 was barely a Godzilla movie. It was a dinosaur movie.
Yeah, that one's directed to someone else. I think Binoculsaurus is talking to someone in the chat.
Yeah,
I love
but
King of the Monsters. There's too many characters,
Yeah.
or too many characters, which took screen time away from the interesting human characters. What do you guys feel about that?
Wait, what was it? Sorry.
Titan of Water said that he thinks that King of the Monsters had too many main characters and it took screen time away from the interesting human characters.
I think that depends on your. I think that depends on which characters you liked. I mean, I liked the family characters, so I was fine because they were the main thing. If you liked Serizawa's partner, probably didn't go too well for you.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like
chomped out of this movie, but
that hurt me a bit because I was like, you know, those were the only two characters I found interesting other than like Joe Brody, and when I saw her, like, wait, did they just kill her? And I just sort of saw like, no, don't tell me.
I will have to disagree with Josh Rosenfield here. He just had a comment saying Serizawa could have had a more meaningful send off. I think
I don't think you could have done a better send off.
Like a great man once said, George Lucas, it's like poetry, it rhymes. It is reverse poetry, basically.
Like, we don't want to use George Lucas as a referee. No.
But dude, like, so it's like it is poetic in a sense because in the first movie,
it is.
He dies. He sacrifices to kill Godzilla, and basically in underwater, like there's this parallel. They kind of wear like similar suits, and he dies. And I'm gonna be.
Oh, it was all on purpose. I know for a fact they did that on purpose.
I actually teared up a bit with that part.
I wish they gave Serizawa more screen time because then I think that if they did more to make us feel connected to Serizawa, then I feel like I could have actually cried when he died. I personally didn't. I just didn't
maybe to us as fans, we're already connected to him just because he is like Serizawa, so we already had that connection. But maybe to a regular movie goer that doesn't watch Godzilla as much, maybe then yes, they probably could have used a little bit more character. But for me, I mean, it's just like, oh, he's Serizawa, perfect, yay! You know, it's like,
yeah. I mean, we can maybe
that could be it.
We could put it to blame in the 2014 movie. They should have gave Watanabe more lines, so that then in this movie
totally
he would have. Yeah, man.
I would agree with that, but I don't feel like we should blame 2014 for something that the King of the Monsters wanted to do, because then it's King of the Monsters.
2014. I have fun blaming that movie.
Okay. I would agree that wait, what?
What?
Oh, this person's just listing off a bunch of Titan names. Never mind. They had a bunch of caps in here. What were we saying? Serizawa's death. Yeah, I think in terms of the actual send off, you couldn't beat it, but I do think that you could give Serizawa more screen time ahead of time and build him up a little bit more, make you feel more connected to him.
There we go. Perfect.
All right, so let's move on to the characters now. I guess we already kind of have.
Yeah, but we can go
specific. For me, I think my favorite character was my favorite character is not really. It's humor based. I like Dr. Stanton the most. The cheesy guy that made all the jokes, the white hair and the glasses.
Got that lizard juiced.
Yeah, that's my favorite line in the entire movie. Is when he's like, "Has he been working out?" And Dr. Stanton's like, "Are you kidding me? Serizawa's got that lizard juice." I laughed my butt off.
He was fine. But then they had to do that cringy line where he's like, "Oh my," or "Oh my God, Zilla."
Oh God.
I did not. I thought that was really stupid. I was like, nope. Whoever wrote that line needs to be fired immediately.
Well, I think it was Michael Dougherty. So,
well, then
fire himself and rehire himself.
He needs to at least be slapped or something, because that was really bad. Like that's not even comedic at all. That was just really cringy.
I mean, my favorite line from Dr. Stanton is the part where he's like with the Earth, like, so the whole tunnel's like, I killed it, like, oh my God, like I don't blame him.
Like,
if I were right.
Right, Chen. It's like they're using that tunnel just zipping around.
Yeah. I would be like that if I were right about something. Like, hey, cool.
Yeah, I just thought he was really comedic. I enjoyed him. The more I watched the movie, the more I liked him. He
wasn't too obnoxious.
Exactly.
Like I said, if most of his lines were like that "Oh my Godzilla" part, then I would have hated him completely. But luckily, that was just really the only line that I couldn't stand from him. everything else, he was fine. He did his part.
Yeah. But other than that, I really liked Serizawa. I thought Serizawa's send-off was just magical, beautiful.
Yeah.
The music in that part, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I liked Emma Russell's story. I like how she actually died, because for some reason I thought that, I don't know why, but I had it in my head that Millie Bobby Brown and Via Farmiga were returning for Godzilla vs. Kong, and I thought Kyle Chandler was the one that was going to die, but I was wrong. It's actually Via Farmiga was not inside the casting for Godzilla vs. Kong, so I'm glad I didn't know that, because it surprised me when we were in the theater when she died. But I was happy she did, because I'm like, yeah, she just kind of released a 3-headed death alien on the entire planet. She kind of deserves it. So I was kind of okay with the way that her story went overall, but I do think that there are some flaws in her motivation. But Kyle Chandler, I think the main character, he really worked for me. I think that he was, even though I do kind of agree with the criticism that he kind of had the answer to everything, and I felt like that was kind of like, yeah, why is he the only one fixing like all the big problems and has the solution for everything? But at the same time, I was like, it wasn't too distracting for me. So yeah. I felt like he worked.
And what's your least favorite character then? Your least favorite character? You talk about favorites, you have to have one you don't like.
I don't know if there's one I didn't really like. I guess my least favorite would probably be between Emma Russell and Madison Russell. I felt like both the female characters were just kind of weak. I thought, or weaker, I guess. Vera Farmiga's character, Emma Russell, the mom, she was interesting because she was the catalyst for this whole thing happening. But at the same time, her motivations kind of put her down for me. But then Madison just kind of is there. She doesn't really do anything. She's just a child obstacle. And so for me, she's not really that interesting, if I'm being completely honest. I thought she was going to be a bigger part in the movie, but she was just kind of there.
I actually thought she was going to have... I thought she was going to have like a psychic connection to the monsters, because I saw her touching Ghidorah's ice. Like, oh wait, they're going to do like the whole Mickey, like from the Heisei. Like, maybe that's why Ghidorah then like looks at her, because that's like a psychic connection, but no, it was the Orca.
That would have been a better movie if she controlled Ghidorah with mind powers.
No, it wouldn't.
No.
I mean, she did a big part with the final battle, bringing them all together.
Yeah.
I guess that's
everybody.
true.
She brought her mom, her dad, the monsters, the military, everything. Yeah. Jesus, everything was falling apart.
She took it upon herself to do that, so that was pretty good. But
Stranger Things 4, Godzilla.
Actually, I guess my least favorite character would be Vivian Graham, because she just got chomped out of the script. So
yeah, she was Kevin Chow.
But at the same time, I really liked her character. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's probably Madison is probably my least favorite, if I'm being honest. But that's not a bad thing, because I actually do like her character. I think she worked, but she's my least favorite.
I do need to kind of like go a little off topic, but people are having an argument about the oxygen destroyer that I'm seeing here.
Oh God, yeah.
And so some people are going back and forth saying that's a waste and that it wasn't strong enough. But here's the thing: I think a couple things with the oxygen destroyer that we can kind of consider the oxygen destroyer as a character, right? No, it's I think the reason why a lot of people were disappointed in it, because a lot of Godzilla YouTubers hyped it up to be something more than what it was, because we were making a bunch of theory videos, and this is what happens when we make a bunch of theory videos and we're not the makers of the film. So I think that's one of the reasons why. I completely forgot about the oxygen destroyer until I watched it. I'm like, oh yeah, shit, that's a thing in this. Okay.
Yeah, it was a bit sudden in the movie.
The thing about it not being powerful enough, yeah, against King Ghidorah, but it killed Godzilla. It wasn't for the shooting the nuke at him, right?
Well, it didn't kill Godzilla.
Didn't it tear him up? I mean, didn't it mess him up hardcore?
But he would have regenerated after like a long period of time. It nearly killed him. It put him out of the fight.
Okay, well, I still consider that a pretty strong weapon.
I actually initially
shoot it again.
Initially, I agree with that. Yeah, it would have killed him if they hit him with another one. But I actually thought it was interesting how they did like the green glow. I thought that was really cool from the actual blast.
It looked a bit fake, the whole blast, though. It looked very
kind of. No, but like when I was watching it, like Chris, I forgot it was in there. I was still disappointed by the oxygen destroyer, but not for the same reasons. Because I was like, when I watched the movie, when I initially, like the first time, I was like, oh crap, it's the Oxygen Destroyer, Godzilla and Ghidorah, they're both gonna die. What the hell? And I was all excited because I knew what the Oxygen Destroyer was and I knew what that had the potential to do. But the reason that it disappointed me, I eventually kind of got over the fact that it didn't kill Godzilla, because I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. He's actually kind of symbolizing that this Godzilla is a little bit more tough than the 54 Godzilla.
And
the Oxygen Destroyer
it's not the exact same thing.
Yeah, and it's also like it's a little bit more
bomb.
Realistic, because how do you actually make a weapon that destroys oxygen? So it's a little bit more realistic. That doesn't work as a
micro oxygen doesn't exist,
and it is just a prototype. Josh Rosenfield, it is just a prototype. But my biggest disappointment is that it was built up nada. They did not build it up in the movie at all. It was literally thrown in. And then the general audience and everybody else is just like, wait, what the hell? You just have a thing called an Oxygen Destroyer that's just going to, it almost killed Godzilla. That was random. Like, it just came out of nowhere. And I think that's my biggest problem with it, is that they did not build it up at all. I felt like it was...
Me too. I thought it was like, wait, what? This is too fast. What's going on? Wait, the second time it was less jarring. Because
you knew it was there and it was going to come in like that.
But to be honest, I was like, if this is how they're gonna bring Destroya after,
No.
I want Destroya, man. I want Destroya.
No. I'll walk out of the theater if Destroya's in it. I'm walking out. No.
Not for Godzilla vs. Kong, but for a later movie.
No.
No, Destroya. I don't want Destroya either.
No.
I don't want it.
Why? What's the name of Destroya?
No.
I don't feel like he deserves the place in the universe.
Gosh,
And now his dogs are freaking out.
Yeah, his dogs want Destroya too. Listen to your dogs, Chris.
I like Destroya. I'm kind of on the same page with you. I'd be okay with it in a later MonsterVerse movie, but if he shows up in Godzilla vs. Kong, I might walk out of the
Absolutely. I wouldn't walk out. I paid tickets for that, but I would watch if it were another movie, like a later. I want to see them both brawling. No other monsters there. But I want Destroya for the future, not in this movie. Like 5 to 6 movies later.
What about Bagan?
God damn it! I want to see I want to see more new monsters. To be honest, I mean, it's great. It's great to see old characters come back, but I mean, like, I like to see new guys show up. Like, I love the Mutos. I thought they were great new enemies. Yeah. So, like, I would love to. Well, I guess if the new monsters are going to be what these new monsters were in this movie, maybe I'll take that back. But we'll get there.
Oh, I mean,
we'll get there.
Well, I don't know, Behemoth. Like, oh god, that's like we'll Manny from Ice Age, but like with games.
Yeah, we'll get. Yeah.
Quick little fun fact is that actually I'm one of the few people that when they first announced the Godzilla or in Godzilla 2 that they were going to bring King Ghidorah, Rodan, and Mothra, that my first reaction, I legit, my very first words I said was no. I did not want them to bring back old Toho things.
Really?
Because I wanted them to do new monsters. I loved the Mutos so much. I'm like, no, I want new monsters. I want new ones. And so I'm kind of happy with this one in some ways because they made the monsters feel new, but they also brought new monsters in, so they didn't get rid of the new monsters.
Happy medium.
Yeah, but once again, the new monsters aren't really that great.
Yeah, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it now, but I just thought it was kind of interesting. I'm one of the very few people that actually didn't like the idea of bringing Toho monsters back into the MonsterVerse after.
I just think Destroya is. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. If they do it, fine. But I don't know. I don't know why I have a problem with it. I just think it's just overrated.
I feel like it's too perfect. It's also just. I don't feel like he has a place.
It's like the same thing of having Mechagodzilla in it. It's like, I don't know. It's weird.
Space Godzilla.
Hey, you! I feel like shut your mouth. But it wouldn't work for this universe. It would be very
crazy. It'd be really crazy.
I think it would because if they brought Ghidorah as a space monster, they can bring Gigan and
Space Godzilla levitates and grows crystals out of the ground.
Space Godzilla is a little too Japanese, I think. For an American audience. So
I mean, I would.
Don't get me wrong. I'd love to see it.
Of course, we wouldn't mind. We're Godzilla fans, but the general audience would be like,
"What?
Am I watching anime? What the hell is going on here? Like this monster's levitating now. Like what is going on?" Yeah, it wouldn't fit in this, semi-realistic universe. The same thing with Mechagodzilla. It just wouldn't work.
Well, actually, they actually do mention a mechanized.
Yeah,
fighting.
I know, but it's a little fan. What do they what do they
Easter
call
egg.
that? Yeah, it's a little Easter egg. I don't think that's actually what they like. That
Well,
doesn't mean that there's going to be a Mecha Godzilla in it, because that would
It's
also.
gonna be a Mecha Kong, man.
Yeah, Mechanic Kong.
If anything, you just have a Jaeger show up, and there you go. There's your mech for the
Oh gosh.
thing.
Okay, so
we were characters. I think we derailed the topic.
Yeah.
okay, so chat. Anything you guys want to say about characters? Any thoughts you guys had? Anything on story? Or anything you want to catch up on right now?
I don't think Chris and I said one of our favorite characters and least characters. We just derailed.
Oh yeah, we just went to the monsters.
Yeah. You guys go, while we're waiting for the chat to get some stuff in there, then go ahead. Tell us your favorites and least favorites. Star Wars first.
All right. Well, again, my favorite one was Sarasawa. No contest there. Because I'm a big fan of Ken Watanabe. I actually watched The Last Samurai. That's where I started, and I really loved him in that movie. And he was like one of the selling points for me in 2014. I actually teared up in the movie the first time. Didn't cry. I only teared up because the music was swelling up, and when he said "goodbye, old friend" in Japanese, and I know the soundtrack by heart, I was like, "Oh boy!" And
it hit the feels.
It hit the feels, and I was like, "It was great." The soldier characters were great for what they served. The scientists, I think my second one was Dr. I forgot her name. She's
one of the comments. That's just brilliant.
Sorry,
Jet
Jaguar.
No, not that one. It's from
Jaguar. We need Jet Jaguar for the next movie. That's making us Titan. Jet Jaguar with his theme song in the background, full speakers.
Oh yeah, I did see this funny meme with Cesar that Rodan is technically the first Mexican/Hispanic character in a Godzilla movie.
Yeah, that's what made me laugh.
Actually, fun fact. I don't know. I did tell you this, Kiki, but Rodan was the island. Isla de Mar was called Isla de Mona. That's an actual island that's next to Puerto Rico, and they changed it. Isla de Mar doesn't exist. It's an imaginary island. So we were like hyping, like, oh, the monster's from here, cool. And then they changed it, like, he's still from here, though. That's what the original island was.
I thought you said that Isla de Mar was another island, but it didn't have a volcano. But it's actually completely fake.
No, Isla de Mona is a desert island. There's nothing in it there. There's just hogs and an abandoned lighthouse. But there's no volcano. I was a bit disappointed that they didn't put that. But, whatever. Hey, at least they mentioned it. About least favorite character? Oh, God. Wait. The other scientist, what was it called? The one that was the mythology. I forgot her name every time.
Dr. Chen.
Dr. Ching? Was it Cheng? Chen? She was my second favorite character. I did like her character. I just thought it brought authenticity to the Japanese roots of the movies. And I lost it. I'm going to more in detail, but I lost it when I saw her twin and Mothra emerging. That caught me by surprise. That was one of the scenes that was like, oh my God, it's the twins.
Yeah.
How? Yeah.
I didn't even notice that till my fourth viewing that was a different character.
Oh my God. Well, for the other characters, those times were cool. The family, I didn't mind. I think Emma Russell, Vera Farmiga, her movies were questionable. I do like that they actually call her insane in the movie. At least the movie's self-aware in some of that. I think Kyle Chandler's Mark Russell was also a good character. They brought some complexity into it. But least character, I'm gonna say this. I did like Alan Jonah.
Alan Jonah, that's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah, he was good, but I think he was underutilized. He should have been utilized more. He was in the back seat. I'm glad he's alive for the future, but come on, he could have been a great villain.
Kind of made me like his sassiness, his character. The one part where he's like, "I'm sorry, did a child just tell you what to do?" I just kind of his old senile character. I just kind of liked it. So I still think I like Emma Russell less.
To be honest, I don't think I have a character I dislike that much because I really think that even though I don't like Emma Russell, at least in her motivations, I did like her sacrifice. And this goes more with the music too, the whole crescendo build up to that, the theme, the family theme. I did like her sacrifice, and I was a bit sad. She did, but she did it so that Godzilla can go basically barbecue Ghidorah to death.
Yeah,
and shish kebab him. No, it's just
her, because I'm sorry, people, if you didn't think about this, but technically, after Ghidorah stops looking at Emma on the ground, Godzilla walks in and melts her. So
that's a horrific way to die. Jesus. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Anyways, Chris, what is your favorite and least favorite characters?
I think my favorite's the dad by far. Just because it surprised me, because I really didn't think he was going to do well. But that was really good. I liked the daughter. I think I'm trying to think throughout all the other Godzilla films, but she's probably the best kid character in the whole franchise. So hey,
yeah,
there's that finally. And the mom would probably be, I'd say, my least favorite, but not because I don't like her, but I just think she's just a very, very rushed story arc, I think, for her. Like, it just felt a little weird. Like, you thought that she was kind of like, I mean, I know that the twist happens later, but you just kind of feel like she's not wanting to do it, but the terrorist guy is like forcing her to do some things, and then all of a sudden, as soon as she blows up the ice that is holding King Ghidorah, it's like just complete change in like a sec. Like, honestly, her character.
When you actually watch it another time, it actually becomes obvious. There's a lot of little hints to her actually being evil and in control. Actually, earlier.
Okay.
Like, actually, do you remember in the Mothra larva part when she's walking through the catacombs, she goes to the guy and she tells him, "Why don't you go rest? I'll take care of this." She's trying to get her friend to not stay there because she knows that they're going to come in and kill everybody.
Interesting. Okay.
Wait, what was that?
It just seemed kind of funny to me because it was like, it seemed like a faster character change than Anakin turning to the dark side.
I mean, he goes from "it's not the Jedi way," and then he goes killing children, taking his pregnant wife.
So, but so she's probably my at least favorite. But
I think we all liked her, but she's probably all of our
right. I mean, overall, maybe that was their intention for the film too. Maybe that was the point. I don't know, but I think all the characters were pretty good. So I liked the majority of the characters compared to 2014 for sure. So, and actually, honestly, compared to the majority of Godzilla films, actually, to be completely honest, actually. So,
for sure, 100%. All right, so let's skim through the chat here a little bit.
Okay, there's something in the chat here I saw here that he's been talking to Kiki. Abranca38. Kiki, you missed this comment. I posted it several times. Bet you $20 that Madison will be the love interest for Kong in the next movie. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
That's not a bad guess, but I don't think this Kong is gonna have a love interest because they could have gone with the blonde chick inside of the Skull Island, but they didn't. They did a reference to it, but they didn't commit to it.
Yeah, they better not, because this is a different kind of Kong. We don't need that original kind of Kong.
They may have
wouldn't you think it's more fitting for Madison to be connected to Godzilla than to Kong? That's another thing that I think. Like, she seems to be.
What if she's connected to the Titans? What if, I don't know, maybe that's a cool thing. Maybe she becomes the next Mickey. I forgot from the Heisei era. She's connected to Godzilla, maybe to the Titans or some shit like that.
I mean, like, she smiles when Godzilla shows up and shoots Ghidorah with his atomic breath, and he's marching into Boston. She smiles. Then she smiles at the end when Godzilla becomes the king of the monsters. So I think that she has a liking towards Godzilla. So I would think that she would probably be on Godzilla's side rather than Kong. That's one of my biggest reasons.
Maybe both, because she actually believes that there should be coexistence between man and monster. So she's going to be probably the one against them fighting, probably, and maybe be instrumental in maybe stopping what's going on. Which I do believe.
Then I hope she dies because I want to fight. So. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that? Oh,
I think real quick. I actually have I can consider for the discussion, like speculation at the end. But I have a theory that I've discussed this with Kiki a lot about like how maybe they can have them fight and maybe.
We have a Godzilla versus Kong thing at the end though. We can get back to that. We'll get back to that.
Oh boy, can't wait.
Let me see what's in the chat here.
Kiki has not read a single comment in this chat. No one cares. Honestly, this stream has left me a bit mad. The Gibson stream was way better. Okay, you are so senile.
Whoa, dude, someone's very butthurt.
Someone's very butthurt. I have read so many comments in here. Have you not been listening to us responding? I've been reading a bunch of them. I just can't respond to them all.
Exactly.
A lot of them don't even ask for responses. Top 3 characters: Rodan, Mothra, and Kevin.
Kevin is life.
Kevin is number 1, man.
Yeah, Kevin. Gotta love that guy.
Wait, who would win, Minya or Jonah Allen piloting Gypsy Avenger? Why is everybody calling him Jonah Allen? Isn't it Alan Jonah?
Helen Jonah. I think I turned into that by accident.
Nice. Nice.
My goodness. Jerry Seinfeld is number one. Let's all agree. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Let's chat right now.
Honestly, yeah, they're gonna be pissy there. Sorry. Don't worry, some stupid sketch show guy. We forgive you. You're cool, man. Here's my Godzilla thumbs up.
This is Jake Nightmares clearly did not read the title because it says, by the way, don't spoil. My brother didn't see the film and he's watching with me, so please no spoilers.
The word in all capitals is spoilers, so I didn't have that happen.
We've been talking sports since the first minute, basically.
Oh man, people in reading, isn't it great?
Great.
Sorry, I'm a little bit of an asshole lately.
That's fine, man.
You just like Rick Stan, and who's the Verizon guy? Who's the Verizon guy? Titan of Water.
That's the guy that was I forget what his name is, but he's the guy that was like, here, I'm going to show you a brief documentary on.
That guy. Yeah, I forgot
the guy that Kyle Chandler's character didn't like for most of the movie.
I love that scene. That was just a bit hilarious. They censor other faces.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious. I don't think I will ever be forgiven for my sextuplet trolling. Nope, you're a bad boy.
Hey.
All right, we're gonna wait for Chris to come back. We'll read the chat some more.
JL.
I know. No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, JL.
Take your time, Chris.
JL, yeah, I'm Star Wars Bar. I made the sweets. Glad you love them. I'm not getting money from them, but I'm making them because that's what I want to listen, like a compilation of the sweets. Because I listen
to Mother and Godzilla thing, how in radioactive jelly hair on snowman intestines does that work? I don't think that you should think about it too much.
Yeah, don't think about it. I am against that ship. If Chris is against Destroya, I'm against that 100. No,
that's a bullshit.
I am not going to that. I cringe with that ship. Oh God, Zilla. There, I'm making it more cringy.
Let's move on to the big one. Let's do the monsters / fights. Let's talk about those.
You should go, Kiki. Like, tell us about all the four main titans, and then you can go what you like about them, and then maybe to the smaller titans and the fights.
Okay. So Godzilla was freaking awesome. I think that this is probably my favorite looking Godzilla now. I think he's just so freaking cool. I love at first I didn't like his glowing blue eyes and the glowing blue mouth, but it grew on me a lot. And so I really love his design. I love his character. His personality is just great. There's so many iconic shots with him just rising out of the water and all that stuff. So I loved Godzilla. Not much more to say there. I did like how they did the fire / burning Godzilla thing. I actually am happy about that. I was a little worried about that at first, but I think they handled it all right. And then for Rodan, freaking awesome. I loved his intro scene. It was so cool. It was very long. But I think Rodan had the least amount of screen time in the entire movie. If I remember correctly, I think that he had slightly less than Mothra, which is one of my bigger criticisms is that I wish that Mothra and Rodan had more screen time, especially when it came to the end fight. But I thought that both of them were great. I was expecting Rodan to breathe fire in this movie because in the Kong Skull Island end credits thing with the cave art, it had these wavy things coming out of his mouth. I didn't know if it was like a roar or if it was supposed to be fire, but I guess it wasn't. So I guess he didn't have a fire breathing ability in this movie, but Mothra is my favorite from the whole movie. So I just love her so much. She looks so badass with her mantis talons. Ghidorah looked awesome. I've never been a fan of Ghidorah. I just always thought Ghidorah was just, I respected him as the nemesis of Godzilla, but I always just kind of thought he just didn't live up to the hype of that title, because in the Showa series especially, he just kind of ran away a lot, and I just couldn't really respect the guy. And then he got his butt kicked in Heisei really easily, and then he got his butt kicked in GMK, even though I do like that version.
Showa, he was a coward. He really was like...
The Heisei version of him, he did some damage until the mind control went away. Then he lost what the fuck he was doing.
Yeah,
that's true. Go that far, yeah. But
well, either way, I wasn't really a fan of that Ghidorah.
Right. Yeah. Right.
So I loved how this one, because it gave personality to all three of the heads. They could have been more personality. The personality was subtle, but it was there. I liked that. I liked the visual distinctions between the heads. I liked just in general his atmosphere and the presence that he had whenever he was on screen. I just thought it was amazing. So I thought this Ghidorah was really great. I was really happy with him overall, because he was probably the one I was least looking forward to initially, but coming out of the movie, I actually really like him a lot. And that head growing back was just an amazing twist.
That was unexpected.
That probably one of my favorite parts of the first experience watching it was when Godzilla ripped his head off, and I'm like, oh my god, so did they like pull an Avengers on us and they did fake CGI the rest of the trailers where he actually only has two heads the rest of it? And I'm like, oh my god. And then my mind immediately went, I'm like, what if he grows it back? Oh my god, if he grows it back, then that means that Godzilla can't kill him by blowing his heads off, and then that means he's got to do something different. And I was like totally excited. Dude, and his head grows back, and it was so gruesome and disgusting.
I was unexpected. I was like, okay, so what now? And when I see, oh my god, that is horrifying. You're seeing that, you're throwing the tongue, you're slicking out it like a snake. Oh my god.
It looked painful. Yeah.
Yeah. It was great. It was freaking great. Okay, I'll wrap up my opinions with the new Titans. I was happy with the new Titan. Actually, why don't we all just like go through each monster rather than just me doing it all? Because then if we all did that in order,
what we can do is that I can go talk about the main Titans, then Chris, and then we go all together talking about the new Titans, and then the fights at the end. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do I go? Okay. So yeah, Godzilla. This is my favorite Godzilla design. I always liked 2014's design. I liked it because, and I liked the approach they gave him his own roar that they didn't recycle. In this movie, they mixed it up. It's jarring at first. Some roars did work.
Sucker for that. Well, I was a sucker for Shin Godzilla when they did it too. So it's just
okay. I did like at first okay, but this new Godzilla has like a mix. Like some parts, like okay, when he falls down and roars, because I think the 2014 roar it's meaner, but a smile was on my face when he appeared in Boston and he just roared. And my favorite roar, I'm jumping here with roars here, but when he's like in fire mode, Fire Godzilla, and he has roars in the 2014, and it cuts back to the original one, like the 60, not 54, the 62. I love that roar. It looked like, hey, great. But it was great. I like his design, like all the fins, like flying back, and I really love what they did with this movie. They did much more. Once we get to the fights, I'll highlight more why I loved more of Godzilla. There's a particular fight that I enjoy more, even though my favorite one is the Boston fight, obviously. But it's the underwater fight. I'm just gonna throw that one there. I love that. Yeah, Godzilla. Not much I can say because let's go with Rodan. Rodan. I want to say Ghidorah for the last. Rodan. To be honest, I really love his action scene. It's a highlight for me. I do like his roar. It sounds mean. I do like his when he goes down, he bows down. It sounds so metallic yet so powerful at the same time. And to be honest, this is my favorite Rodan design. I mean, all these are my favorite monster designs at the moment, and I think it's going to be by a long time.
Of each individual one, like this is your favorite Godzilla, Rodan, Mothra.
Yeah, these are my favorite one because they look mean. Because Rodan in the 50s looks ridiculous. He looks like he has like a little like I know people love that, but he looks like he's having like a blanket. It looks weird. Why would you walk like this? This looks mean. He looks like he can actually go. And I didn't mind him. I did check the cave painting. He does seem to be blowing fire. So maybe they changed that. I do like him.
Use it, but then again, why would he try to bite Mothra's head off if he could blow her head off with fire? So.
Maybe it's an old Rodan. Maybe that's like he did say. Michael Dougherty said that this maybe could be a baby from the other two Rodans.
Well, that was his fan fiction is that he was thinking of it as the baby of the two Rodans in the first original Rodan movie.
So yeah, 1956 Rodin's canon. I'm kidding, it's not canon. But I really did love it. I really love like his old lava. He looked pleasing, and I really loved. I was surprised. I actually thought he died in the movie when he got stung, and when I saw him back, like, oh my god! And he just comes in here and challenges him, and just Godzilla snares, and he just bows down like, that's it. You better bow down. This guy just disintegrated this other alpha. Mothra. I actually never liked Mothra when I was young. Mothra was this puffy butterfly, looked so fake to me. But this movie really surprised me. I really love Mothra's theme. This is the best rendition of Mothra's theme. I will say it again. I'll go more with the music later. Well, I'll go later with the music. I do like her. I do have a soft spot for how she looks as a larva. She looks so cute but menacing. Like,
oh yeah,
and then she like shows her fangs. You're like, oh my god!
I love how she changed colors too.
Yeah,
she doesn't look like a turd finally.
She actually looks like a caterpillar.
Yeah, and actually, Mothra, like, I have nothing to say. Like, she looks like something that like means business. She's not like, she dies, but she doesn't, like, she has other things. She doesn't use her wings. She uses her claws and her stinger, which is really good, and her god rays. And I thought that their relationship. I honestly thought that Mothra was going to be with Ghidorah. I don't know why, because he's calling all of them, but I'm surprised that they actually have a symbiotic relationship, and it was a nice treat. And Ghidorah, the last one. I never liked Ghidorah. My brother always loved Ghidorah. He was obsessed with it. I always liked Godzilla and Destroya and other monsters, but because I thought he was like kind of weird. I mean, I do like his 1991, but this one is my favorite. Like, this is like when he just pops up and you see him, his roar. Oh my god! Like, I love Godzilla's roar, but his roar, it just sounds like, it's like it has the bibbity bibbity, and it has the like a deep bass to it that it just sounds like this thing. I wouldn't want to mess with that. And the heads, like, I do love the heads. The part where that head is horrifying. So would watch it though. It's horrifying. But I just love it because these Ghidorah is like, in all the older movies, he has like the wings, he's like running around, he's just punching him, shooting the lasers, and that's it. But in this one, like, oh my god, when he goes and bites that telephone, that pole, and opens his wings and like sparks all that lightning, and then Godzilla's pushed back, and then he goes and when he lifts Godzilla, which Kiki knows that I actually been theorizing that Godzilla was the one being dropped.
He was the first one I know of that guessed that Godzilla was the one being dropped out of the sky that I know of.
Yeah, because I was thinking, like, I'm a Godzilla fan. What would I like? I want to see Godzilla fly from the atmosphere. I honestly thought that was how he was going to turn to fire Godzilla, but no, it was Mothra. But that part when he carries him, that was like, this Ghidorah, the best one. It's, to me, this is like this is the three-headed monster. This is the devil has three heads. Like, this can send people nightmares, and I really enjoy that. And I think that's me talking about the original monsters. How about you, Chris Kaizen?
So I want to talk about real quick him bringing him up in the atmosphere and dropping Godzilla. I just must say that the Kenshin series did that first with the Space Godzilla. Just saying. Just saying.
Well, you got it. They maybe got inspired. You never know.
Yeah, hopefully. But no, seriously. I mean, yeah. I mean, 2019. The suit design, well, not suit design, I guess, but the design is great. I mean, I like it a lot more than 2014's design, because I mean, 2014's was great, but it was nice that they made it a little bit, like, the dorsal plates definitely needed to be expanded, and I wasn't one that had a problem with his feet in 2014 with that whole feet problem that people had, but it is nice that they kind of changed a little bit of it too. And I love the glowing themes with the monsters. I thought it was brilliant. Godzilla's being blue, Mothra's like a more
greenish blue,
turquoise, like turquoise kind of color. Rodan being red and King Ghidorah being gold. It was perfect. So I love because I love this light emitting from the monsters. I think I got that from Pacific Rim because they did that with those kaijus. But yeah, Godzilla himself was great. I mean, he did have a bit more of a personality in this one. I like that. I mean, I mean, it's Godzilla. What can you say? There's really not much, that he can improve. I mean, he was great in 2014, so he's great in this one. Rodan. I've been somewhat of a fan of Rodan. I've never been a hardcore fan of Rodan. But I mean, this one probably would be my favorite incarnation of him. Just the fact that he just has that lava theme going on, with the lava's flying off his skin and all that. And then when he's fighting the jets and he does the spin and hits a bunch of jets, like, I just thought that was brilliant. His roar, though, I didn't care for, because it wasn't Rodan's roar. It was just some stock dinosaur roars, I guess.
Actually, but you actually hear a hint of his roar when he actually bows to Godzilla before. When he raises it, you can hear the basic of it. It's a bit hard, but you hear it.
Well, like I said, I've only seen it once, so I might be wrong on that. But
I have watched it, but I can confirm that there are very, very subtle hints in almost every single noise he makes that you can kind of hear his little at the end.
Yeah.
I still agree with you that his is my least favorite sound effects by far. It doesn't sound
it grew on me. I like just it grew on me. So
so Rodan was great. No complaints there. Mothra was the biggest surprise and the biggest worry of mine, because I was like, well, I remember as soon as they announced that they were going to have all these monsters, and especially Mothra, I was like, okay, like, how are they going to make Mothra look great in this realistic portrayal of these characters? And they nailed it. I mean, as soon as I saw Mothra's design, I was like, okay, they got it. Like, the fact that she has longer appendages and all that stuff was great, and her overall design was perfect. She had personality. Like I said, to me, the best Mothra incarnation by far. Like, just beats every single other one. And that's not to, I mean, I know it's a little bit of an unfair thing, because this is a CGI model compared to a actual puppet that can't move that much. But in terms of just the way the character is, I mean, yeah, this one definitely did it. King Ghidorah, I have, once again, never been a hardcore fan of King Ghidorah, but I do like King Ghidorah a lot. And for me, Rodan was also my least worried about being in this movie, because I was like, he's just a giant, what would you call him? Pteranodon. Pteranodon, yeah. So that's really
Fireburb. That's what they say.
Yeah, so that's I mean, Rodan's easy to portrayal, because he's just it's just a dinosaur. Mothra was the hardest, I thought, and then King Ghidorah was kind of in the middle, but really, once again, it's just a giant 3-headed dragon, so it's not really that hard to design. And I liked how they didn't they didn't go too far with his design. I mean, this is a very honestly tamed design that they went with. It did not take a lot of risks.
The concept art was crazy.
I bet, yeah. So the finished design was actually very tamed. I was actually surprised that they, went the way they did, but it was great. It's a good looking design. I didn't notice too much the differences in the faces, except for the personalities, yes. But the faces, I know that there are different lengths of the horns and stuff, but I think just with everything happening in the movie, I didn't see it that well. Yeah. I also don't fully understand the use of 3 facial actors or whatever for the face capture or whatever. I don't really understand that now. Like, seeing it, it's like, okay, what's, like, I don't really see the point in that. I don't know why there's 3 actors for one character. I don't see
when you rewatch it. There's very different facial structures and facial expressions that they make.
And the middle head has double rows of spikes coming down from the neck.
Yeah, I see that, but at the same time, I think it might be a little bit much. I mean, it's just like one actor could probably have enough range to do with all 3. But anyway, I don't know. It could also be a marketing stunt. Who knows? And then I love the personalities with like the left head being I guess the stupid one or whatever, where like the middle one's just constantly tugging him along, being like, "This way, idiot!" Like blah blah blah. The right one didn't seem to do much.
Yeah, the right one was really boring.
He just kind of seemed to be whatever.
Ignoring them, like, please take me away.
Yeah. But overall, King Ghidorah was fantastic. I mean, this was the most ferocious King Ghidorah. And let's see, from this one, when was the last? Oh, well, I guess Kaiser Ghidorah would be the last time we saw King Ghidorah before this. So,
Planet Eater.
Who?
Planet Eater Ghidorah.
We don't talk about that. I mean, that one was, I mean, whatever. Like, it was fine. But I don't consider it the traditional King Ghidorah. Yeah. So technically, yes, but realistically, the last time we saw a King Ghidorah was Kaiser Ghidorah.
Well, far
I
back
still,
UK, maybe.
well, no, because GMK came before Final Wars. So
But we
Final
actually
Wars
saw
was the
like
last.
the actual King Ghidorah because we saw Kaiser, which is this four-legged version.
But that's still King Ghidorah. That's still
Yeah.
King Ghidorah.
It's still King Ghidorah, slightly different.
It's still the character, yeah. So I mean, because they made that design in the Rebirth of Mothra trilogy with Death Ghidorah and whatever. So, yeah, it's not a new character. No, Kaiser Ghidorah is King Ghidorah. They just different name. But I mean, my favorite King Ghidorah still is going to be Kaiser Ghidorah, just because I just love that freaking character and that design and just everything about him is just so awesome. But this one's definitely a close second. This King Ghidorah is really good. So that's my opinions, I guess, on the monsters. So
let's do a quick chat break because that actually took a while. So
yeah.
I'm sad that the other kaiju didn't get enough screen time. They could have all fought at Boston, and when Ghidorah kills Mothra and beats up Godzilla, the other Titans could have seen the questioned.
In question, I mean, that's not how animals work.
Questioned his rule.
I don't know. I don't think that's how animals work. I think they would still be hypnotized. Like, why are you going into the alpha? We serve the alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's kind of up for debate. I mean, clearly some monsters are capable of independent thought, like Kong just ignored Ghidorah's call in the canon. He just thought it was a false king, and Mothra was like, I ain't betraying my man. So that, yeah, I don't really know. No spaghetti noodles. Grand was the other one. Bagan is cooler than Destroyer. Kiki, I'm not sure if you've seen me talking how Houston Brooks is in the film. Yeah, the Dr. Brooks from Kong Skull Island. Yeah, he's the older gentleman inside the tent before Mothra gets out or awakens. Yeah, I do know that.
Yeah, Bagan is cooler than Destroy. Yeah, Spinosaurus boy. I kind of agree and disagree, but I do want to see Bagan in the movie. Like, I've always seen him as like the ultimate enemy.
Chris doesn't like Bagan.
He doesn't like Bagan?
It's not that I don't like Bagan. I just don't get he's a character concept that was in a video game.
But he looks
Make the video game into a movie first, then we'll talk.
Exactly. Like, make that the last Toho. If you make a Godzilla, make him the last one. Like, and make Super Godzilla the last movie, and then we'll see if he's really good.
Like, might as well just make a Crystalak movie too, and an Obsidious movie because of
the movie.
Oh God, sorry. I mean, for frick's sake.
That is a little different because technically Bagan was actually written before.
Yeah, but it still never came to fruition.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
A monster that basically is development hell is Bagan. He's
trying on the character that, yeah. But anyway, whatever. That's
Bagan is a space Godzilla with the powers of a rhinoceros.
What?
Sure.
Kaiser Ghidorah is not a King Ghidorah. It's different monster, same species, different member.
That's debatable. It's debatable.
No, I agree.
It's so debatable.
I think that's one of my friends actually, Jero. Yeah, I agree. It actually is.
It's debatable. That's debatable.
It's on the side where I kind of see Kaiser Ghidorah as a different character because he's so different, but at the same time, I agree with Chris that he is just another form of King Ghidorah. It's kind of like just changing the design again. I mean, still is Ghidorah.
Like I said, it's debatable. I'll let you. We'll agree to disagree on that one.
Yeah. Well, Fire Godzilla in 2019 was advertised as Super Godzilla. Yeah, but the thing that you saw with that was actually a advertisement by a second-hand thing. It wasn't actually officially advertised as Super Godzilla, and I don't think they label it as that. If I actually heard,
I don't
officially. I heard it's just a rumor that they officially call it Fire Godzilla, but I just kind of tend to call it Burning Godzilla.
I call him Fire Godzilla. He's not a meltdown, and he looks more.
Thank you. He's not Burning Godzilla. Thank you. Yes.
I tend to call him Burning Godzilla.
Fire Godzilla.
I mean, he was kind of burning. I mean, he was doing meltdown.
Powerful, ready to go, kick your ass Godzilla. There we go. That's the name for him.
Kind of went to meltdown form. Like, he was going to there, or at least explode If it weren't for
He didn't melt, so he's not burning Godzilla.
exactly, so they can call him supercharged up meltdown kind of.
If he was burning Godzilla, he would have melted. So that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's go on to the other Titans and how we felt about that.
Wait. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thermonuclear Godzilla. That's an interesting name, Dino Man. Thermonuclear Godzilla.
I like that one.
Yeah, that should be his lighting form here, and then Fire Godzilla.
Thermonuclear Godzilla. It's too long though. Fire Godzilla's easier.
Thermal Godzilla. Firm Nuke Godzilla. TN Godzilla.
Oh wait, no. What was the critical mass? That was the other name. Critical mass.
Or we can call him Juiced Up Godzilla.
Juiced. Mega juiced. Also, I'm kind of on the side that I may be wrong, but the way I kind of interpreted it is that Mothra was not the essential ingredient to turning him into Fire Godzilla. The way I kind of, I saw it as the nuke that he was going to turn into that no matter what. But then when Mothra's radiation went into him, it sped it up, and that's why she instantly turned him red because it sped up the process of him heating up.
I honestly thought that was going to be King Ghidorah. That was the result of King Ghidorah scorching him. That's what I always thought. That all the heat from that it turned him to that. But whatever. It's still cool.
I was kind of thinking that it would be him falling from the sky and his skin would be kind of charred, burned up. But he was actually a full-on Fire Godzilla.
Basically, he melted Ghidorah, which was nice. I really like that. So we should go to the new Titans maybe and discuss them.
Design-wise, I liked them all. Behemoth at first, I was kind of iffy on. The Gorilla Mammoth one I thought was kind of weird. But overall, I liked all their designs. I was so happy to see a Muto come back.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only one I like.
You only like that one? I liked Scylla.
I
don't even know I didn't even really know they have names. That's funny that you.
There's the mountain one's Methuselah, then Behemoth is the Tusk one.
That's how behind I am.
Manny from Ice Age, but with games.
I just don't care about those other monsters. They're so filler. Except for I love the Muto one for sure, but they're so filler. It's actually kind of annoying when I'm thinking about it. It's just so.
They were
just put them in there to sell toys and to continue this MonsterVerse.
That was their only for the end shot, but I have to overall, I wish they were in the movie a lot more.
Yeah, I wanted them to fight Godzilla or something. I thought the end part, because from my point of view, I saw the day before the film came out. They came out with a little behind the scenes featurette for the film, and the actors were talking about the film and all that, and then they had the shot where it was the shot where the camera was revolving around Godzilla as he's looking at all the Titans, whatever. I thought that right there, that was gonna be oh, Godzilla's gonna throw down with all of them, he's gonna kill King Ghidorah and that's it. But then it's if you're gonna call this King of the Monsters, then it's all right, now all these other guys are gonna try to take the place, and then Godzilla's gonna kick all their butts, and then that's what's gonna lead to King Kong, but whatever. And but no, they all just bow down to him, and it's oh, all right, sweet.
I mean, blame Rodan for that. Rodan's the one that bowed down first.
But even the bowing down thing too was a little much. I think maybe now that I think about it more.
I wasn't I'm still kind of they could have done a little better. Is that Rodan really committed to it? He fully looked like he was bowing. The other one literally just bowed in submission, but Rodan was
I mean, he did it to Ghidorah. He was basically people say in my
period. I just kind of wish that he maybe he folded his wings and just kind of did the same thing as them, and he didn't
He's like this with the hands in front and I bow down.
I don't know.
Has his arms down like that and just bows.
I mean, I can't really contribute more to this topic because I just didn't care for them. They're very, very throwaway.
I do love the Muto. I think that Muto's a Muto Prime because it has more spikes. And
that one's fine. That's the only one I liked.
And in the comics,
totally different. I'm someone who firmly does not think it's a Muto Prime because it doesn't look anything like it to me.
I disagree with that. You know why? Because I read the comic and I remember that if they said that the Mutos fight against each other after destroying an ecosystem, and the survivor becomes the Muto Prime and mutates slowly into it. So we know
all I thought it was Metroid Prime. Sorry, go on.
Oh god. Well, actually, and since these all our two Mutos died, and the Muto Prime died in the comics, so it makes sense that this one's changing. Since Godzilla just
You're saying it's like mid-change.
it's changing, so it's evolving slowly because it has the spikes in the back, the extra spikes.
I could kind of see that, but at this current state, I don't think it's a Muto Prime.
I feel so far out of the loop. I didn't know there was this much lore to the Mutos. I'm really out of it.
Until I watched a video talking a little bit about it, but
yeah, I did not realize there was that much development.
I don't even canonize the comics. In my full opinion, all of them are not canon.
I just don't. It's for anything for me. If it's a movie, I watch the movies. I don't. The extended stuff is great and all, and I kind of sound like a hypocrite because the Kenshin series is doing that. But anyways, I don't read the comics or the novels or the whatever. It's it's like for me, like Star Wars, for instance.
They have so many continuity errors, like the Awakening. Godzilla Awakening, I 100% that's not canon. They do so many things wrong in that it's not even funny.
But it's like for me with Star Wars, like I don't read the comics, I don't care about the novels, I don't care what extended lore or whatever. It's like no, I watch the movies. That's what they present. There we go. Like I'm not going to go out and do extra homework to learn about a certain.
I'm a full nerd. I really love that.
That's fun. If that's what you like, that's great.
Honestly,
if you want to do extra credit homework, then you can. That's good on you.
That started when I stumbled on
A for effort.
I just love that. I love the expansion story, and I love that.
Me and Aiden, we're just gonna get a C on this test. Okay, we're not gonna go out and try to impress the teacher.
Okay, it brings a different point of view because I'm talking about the little pieces that make it like. Together that
but then we're just sitting here going, what? When did that happen in the movie? When did they explain that?
I actually disagree. I think that the comics make everything worse and like they make them more confusing. Reason being is because inside the Muto Prime kind of makes me kind of think like what that kind of like conflicts with the way that I viewed the Mutos from 2014. And then not the Jinshin Mushi, the Shinomura is like this invincible thing, and I'm like, okay, so apparently now Godzilla's had a rivalry with the Shinomura, but King Ghidorah doesn't like he's not
rivalries, I guess.
And then the Muto Prime is Godzilla's rival Alpha from the evolutionary history, and yet again I'm like, so that just kind of pushes King Ghidorah to the side again. I just think that they all just kind of make it stupidly.
I have a theory that I believe this is a Godzilla theory, mind you. And I believe that the Jinshin Mushi is from his time period, but Ghidorah is more modern times, more like humans, because it makes more like maybe Godzilla, because this Godzilla's lived all underneath, and the Muto Prime gets faded, because in Godzilla Aftershock, there's another Godzilla, and maybe that was the rival with that Godzilla, and they interpret as that. But maybe this Godzilla is a rival to Ghidorah. So, because that first Godzilla that we see the skeleton, in the first movie, that's Dagon. That's the first guy that died with Muto Prime.
You said that the Mutos changed to Muto Prime when there's no more Mutos present, except we know that there was.
The thing is that the Muto Prime, when it defeats a Titan, it deposits some it impregnates it basically with a male and a female, so they can spread basically a male and a pregnant female, with the sac like in the movie. So they spread. And the Jinshin Mushi goes to rest. And basically that's how it's like a virus. When all the Mutos are dead, the Jinshin Mushi arrives again, deposits pusters, I don't remember the word, I'm butchering it. And then it starts again. It's like a cyclic. It hunts Godzillas. It's more like a natural predator. Like
I will say I do like it, the way that I guess I would say that they're doing the comics here is fine because it's just one comic per movie that comes out. It's like a little buffer. That's actually really it just depends on how you do it. The reason I don't like extended stuff like that is because from my experience with Star Wars, it's too much. And then I really got burned when if any of you guys are Halo fans watching, when Halo 5 came out.
God, no.
They required you there was like 2 Netflix series you needed to watch. There was like
Microsoft's
3 comic books you needed to read that explained characters' backgrounds and history that we didn't see in the previous one. So like Locke and Blue Team and Osiris and all that stuff. And there was like 2 novels of information that you needed to read. Yeah. So you needed to and there was a podcast series that you needed to watch on YouTube by the developer. It's all of this extra material just to understand what the hell is going on in the next installment. And also the fact that all that stuff's not free. You got to go out and buy the comics and go out and buy the novel. So not only are you spending $60 on the video game, but now you're having to spend more money on this other content. So I'm okay with the extended stuff or little filler things. Just don't, like, if you can, the extended lore stuff should be meant as a supplement to help enrich the already established lore. So for instance, the first Halo trilogy, Halo 1, 2, and 3, those were perfect with telling you all the stuff you needed to know, the backgrounds. They did talk about the Forerunners and all that stuff. Once again, for those of you who are Halo fans, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I'm sorry. But what the new trilogy is doing is that they're trying to make this huge universe too big, and they can't fit it all in the main installments that the general audience is going to want to consume. So like when Halo 5 came out, and I'm a huge Halo fan, and I know all about the story and stuff, and then when Halo 5 came out, I didn't know what the hell was going on in the story. Like, I finished it from beginning to end, and the credits rolled, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like, I've never been confused at the end of a Halo game. Like, I knew what happened, but this one I was like, whoa. And then I realized you had to read all this extra material, and I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Screw that. So that's why I think it's okay to have comic books and like extra material, but make sure that in your actual installment piece of content that you explain a little bit of that backstory. And then if you have viewers or audiences that want to learn more about that certain thing, then make that comic. So for instance, like with the Muto Prime, maybe they could have had like a little explanation of like, hey, there's another Muto there. You remember them from 2014, but there's only one. That might be a Muto Prime. Oh, what's a Muto Prime? Oh, well, it's a simple piece of exposition right here. Oh, it's the thing with there's one Muto left. They become the Prime when 2 die out, blah, blah. And then
spaghetti.
Right. And then if there was a person in the audience, for instance, that would want to go, well, you know what? I want to learn more about the Muto Prime thing. Oh, there's a comic book about that. Then I'll go read it. And it will explain more and enrich that lore. But when you just have a thing that just appears out of nowhere and you're like, what the hell? And then they have a comic that explains it. That's what I don't like. So once again, I'm going to plug a little bit, but Aiden's here too. So we're both part of the team. The Kenshin series, for instance, we're making a comic book that is explaining the backstory of our villain. But in the main installment, we're going to talk about the villain's backstory a little bit to entice people that they might want to go read more about it. But it's not like he's just going to be there and then it's like, oh, if you want to learn more about this character, then go read the comics. Like, no,
you're screwed.
Right, exactly.
I agree.
Yeah. So that's my issue with like comics and extended lore is that sometimes it starts to take over too much. And then it's like, well, then I'm just doing homework and I don't like that. But I think for this, it's fine because it's just one comic. It's not like there's 3 comics, 4 novels, a podcast series, a 2 Netflix series that you have to watch like Halo 5 did. Like that was just a train wreck because no one understood what the hell was going on in Halo 5. So that was like one of the biggest things. So I got burned with that. That's why I don't like doing the extended stuff. But
I agree with that because as I want to be an author, I'm currently writing. If you guys, I'm writing a book. I actually agree with that. You need to write a story, focus on that story first, and add the other supplementary material.
Yeah,
it's always
just explain things simply. It could just be like I just did with the Muto thing. It's just a couple lines of dialogue, and then that can spawn a comic book if people want to. It's not required, But if people want to learn more about the lore, then they can, and it's that supplement to make people more invested in the universe. But it's not required if you don't want to. So if you don't read that comic book, well, it's like if you don't read that comic book, you'll still understand what's going on in the main story. So that's just that little thing. But I mean, for instance, I didn't even know it was a Muto Prime. I just thought it was another Muto. That was their fault.
It wasn't too much like the Muto Prime because at least it looked enough, like Dino Man saying here, it looked enough like the regular female Muto that I was like, oh, it's just individual variation. This one has spikes on it. Okay.
I had no idea about. I didn't even know there was a thing called a Muto Prime. I just thought there were Mutos, and that's it.
NECA, make us a freaking Muto figure. Now that we have another one, give us a damn Muto figure.
If they haven't made Ghidorah, they won't make a new one for Muto.
Well, they haven't even done the 2014 one, so I don't think there's probably just not enough market. There's probably not enough attention for the Muto character.
I mean, about the comics, you're gonna hate this too, but they actually explain why his spines are different.
Yeah,
for fuck's sake. Okay, see that. Oh, for freaking damn it!
It blows his spines, and then he uses a supercharge, and that's so easy.
That's what I mean. That's what I don't like. It's like, don't just. You can explain that in the story, in the actual movie. Just like 2 lines of dialogue, you could explain it.
I feel like it didn't really need to be explained though, because to me it just looked like his spines grew more. So,
well, okay, then fine, but then why is there a comic book that explains it?
Because I guess I don't know.
Money.
Anyway, we're getting
money. That's true.
Dinero.
Way too off topic here.
Okay, so we haven't go to the fights though.
Hey,
but
1 rant is my quota for each thing I'm in. Okay, I have to do at least 1 rant.
We were talking about one of the new Titans.
Oh, really? I just got so lost with the Halo 5 and MonsterVerse analogy.
I'm very passionate about Halo. Okay, so
me too. I know that.
Don't get me started. Yeah.
Let's just go to the fight. So I think I liked the designs of the new Titans, but I think that there could have been more. I was a little disappointed with them overall.
Methuselah's Bay.
Yeah,
he should have been more in the movie. He was cool for like 2 seconds.
That's pretty cool lore to him as well. But anyways, the fights. How
many fights?
Huh?
How many fights are there? Let's divide this with the fights. We have the Antarctica fight. We have the underwater fight in Zalemara. We have
Ghidorah first.
Ghidorah and Rodan fighting. That's a little bit. Then we have the battle in Boston, which that's the name I'm using. So let's go with that.
Wasn't the fight underwater the same battle as the first time Godzilla fights King Ghidorah? Isn't that in the same fight?
No, it's in Mexico.
They fight in Antarctica, then flies away, and then when
I've seen it once because I've already forgotten how many fights there were.
Yeah. Anyways, my favorite fight was probably when Godzilla. I guess when Godzilla and it's tough because between Godzilla and Mothra tag teaming Ghidorah, or it's the burning or the fire Godzilla fight at the end. Well, I guess it's not really much of that's my thing. Because that was more like Godzilla just murdering Ghidorah, and it wasn't much of a fight.
You mean barbecuing him live?
Yeah. So I guess the battle in Boston was my favorite overall, but I really loved when Mothra and Godzilla were tag teaming Ghidorah. I think that was probably my favorite part there.
I think in my case, I have a different sweet spot for each fight, because one thing I didn't say at the start of the start of this stream, is that I do love this movie, but I think the beginning part is a bit too slow. Once Godzilla shows up and does his intimidation display, and we see Ghidorah coming out, and he comes out, that's where this movie just starts, and it just starts going fast. So for the Antarctica fight, I really love that. It's as I told you yesterday, Kiki, it's like a parallel to his airport scene. You see him basically coming out, the music is swelling up. You see him coming,
and they don't cut away this time.
Exactly. I actually there's a joke we did about that. What if somebody would cut that and then jump to the other scene?
Edit of it, and
I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make that just for fun. But that's like a parallel, and then you see him, and then the music swells up, and he roars, and there's these shock waves, and I personally love the part when he fires up the beam, he shoots, and Ghidorah just covers down. He never does it in the movies. He always the easy target. You hit him and he falls down. No, he dodges and then he shoots, and the beam
goes between them.
Yeah,
it's also the power of a man in a suit versus a CGI model.
exactly. Like it's probably its time, but it was cool to see that and how he like Godzilla's like knocked down and shooting, causing destruction, and that pose of him. I do like Boston's fight, but I do have a soft spot for the underwater fight because we don't get them. We don't have that much battles. I think in Godzilla vs. Mothra in '92 we have a battle underneath the one with Batra, if I'm correct.
There is an underwater fight between Godzilla and Batra. Yeah,
But there's not much actually. So
but
I love
they're
that.
all not that great. Most of the Godzilla's never really had a good underwater battle scene before, so it's.
I think of GMK Godzilla versus.
Oh yeah,
but that wasn't even a fight, really. That was just him dragged underwater,
just destroying Ghidorah.
Yeah, as always.
Wasn't even a fight, really. Again,
but I just love that. Because after you see Rodan just hitting Ghidorah and then just getting hoisted like this and blasted, and then he goes down, I just love that because Godzilla just pops out and he's like in his element. He's like, oh crap! He's like drowning him. He bites his head off. I love that, and the music. We'll get into the music, but and I really like that Boston part. Really, when he just pops in and he starts running and he hits Ghidorah and this shockwave is emits, and then we have Mothra coming in here, attack teaming. Rodan comes in.
Really cut away though, they smash and they do the big blast, and then it has the Argo jets coming out. I love the line that follows. That's when he says the juiced line. Yeah. But I didn't like how it just like cut off as soon as they smash into each other. It was kind of like a 2014.
I mean, 2014. If it were 2014, they would just clash, and then it would cut to I don't know some part of the city,
some other part of the movie. Yeah. At least the cuts here were in the same scene. That's in a way. They were cut better.
One of my favorite parts is when we have like Godzilla slamming his tail. Before he slams, he punches Ghidorah like one of the heads and just slams him in the tail. And then when he goes to strike, and then we have the three heads just converging down, dragging him. That's where Mothra shows up. I love that part. And the Fire Godzilla part. That's like when I listened to the soundtrack, I was like, I think he's gonna melt him. He's gonna melt him. I was disappointed that they didn't use the red spiral ray, but I just love the pulse, and he's just like.
I'm happy they didn't. I don't think that the red spiral ray would have looked good.
I think it's kind of all the same. I mean, the red spiral ray was him being the Fire Godzilla. So I mean, there you go.
I like the pulse. The pulse was very unique, and I thought
that was a nice callback to the Heisei series. I appreciated that.
Yeah, and this
wings that came out of it and her roar.
Yeah, and I was generally surprised at the end, when I'm like, okay, the explosion happens, and then we see Ghidorah like, oh, don't tell me he's still alive, and I see Godzilla, and it's just funny because you see this is me reenacting, having the little head just slamming into the ground, and he's like moving it, and you have like him, like the beam is ready to fire up, and then he just shoots him up, and he's like little
it and like feeding it down his throat as he's holding it.
I don't think he was eating him. I think he pulverized it.
It was shortening. The neck was actually shortening. He was like burning it as it was going down his throat.
I actually think he wasn't eating it. I think he just dissolved him, and when he saw him, like, hey, you get back here. We're not done with you, and he just got him. Yeah, I think he was like, get over here. We're not done yet. And then like the little spark of like lightning.
Burp.
Yeah, that is, and oh my god, that part, and then how it ends. Like, I actually saw a comment in Reddit. They say the atomic kiss, and they say that this is the atomic deep throat that would get Ghidorah. That comment made my day.
The atomic deep throat. Jesus.
I don't know how Kong is gonna get, but hopefully it's not the atomic, full blast.
Oh my god.
Sorry. I just sorry.
Did you go into some skeleton? Oh
my god. Oh, my mind went places. Whew. All right.
What about you, Chris?
I loved it all. I mean, there really isn't a scene that I didn't like in the fights. I mean, they were all great. The first battle with Godzilla and King Ghidorah was so classic to me. It was just that first encounter. Godzilla gets his butt kicked and they run, or Godzilla retreats, or the other monster retreat. Like, it's just that first encounter, classic Toho style. Didn't really care for the underwater. I've never cared for underwater scenes. I don't know. It's just too slow or whatever.
And then there was a couple of where it kind of looked weird when he was like
King Ghidorah fighting Rodan. I mean, it was cool. I mean, it wasn't long, but I mean, I thought for a second, as soon as King Ghidorah grabbed his wings, I thought he was gonna rip his wings off. I don't know why. I just had this, just the way the camera was positioned and the way that it looked. I was just like, oh my god, they're gonna rip his wings off. Like that's it. That's it for Rodan. But then I mean, and then the final battle was just your classic final encounter, the climax of the whole movie, and that's the best part of any Godzilla movie is the final battle. So I mean, it was great. I mean, there are no issues I have with the battles in this movie. They were so great. I do wish, we were talking about this earlier, the camera being a little bit more farther away so I could see more of what was going on. But I don't. Once again, I take that as just a Hollywood thing because they did it in Pacific Rim as well, and it bothered me too. So I just think it's a problem that is just in any movie nowadays with a big action scene, that just sometimes the camera needs to just back up and just show the whole thing rather than just try to be as intense with like, oh, in your face with the camera. But no, it was great. The battles were awesome. Yeah.
What about you guys in the chat? What were your guys' favorite battles? Any favorite moments you guys had between the monsters? What were your favorite monsters?
I actually saw ArtsyDilo. He said, I love the Antarctica fight. And Dinoman said the same thing. And Dinoman doesn't like the underwater fight because he can barely see anything happening.
Actually, one thing that I'll say is that because I wanted to expand on that further is ArtsyDilo, when we were watching the movie, he said that it looked like he was doing a death roll on King Ghidorah, which is a cool idea, like a crocodile death roll, but he totally was not. When I watched it the 5th time, I was making sure to watch for it. There was no point where he was doing a death roll. He was grabbing Ghidorah and they were both twirling in a circle around each other. Like Godzilla was actually going like this. He wasn't spinning like a crocodile. And it looked really weird when he went over out over Ghidorah and they were like rolling like that. It just didn't look right at multiple parts. And that's kind of why I think that if it weren't for some issues I have with the Antarctic fight, then that would be my least favorite fight. I want to comment on that more later once we get to favorite and least favorite moments. But my least favorite fight in the whole movie is actually the Antarctic fight for a specific reason. But I'll get into that later. Anyways, Rodan. Rodan's awesome. Freaking Rodan has an awesome design. Honestly, all the best shots were of the monster standing and roaring. The action was all right, but a bit too much shaky cam and overbearing particle effects. Yeah, the particle effects really got in your face a little bit much.
I didn't notice them. I didn't see any particle effects. I mean, I think I was just in the moment.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just anything of the lightning strikes, the beam effects. That's all particle effects. That's all anything that's just like shiny and blue and like whatever. That's all particle effects. But I think first viewing you don't notice it because you're just so involved in it. But probably the more and more you see it, the more your brain turns on again, and you become more of a analyzer.
The next time you're looking for other things that aren't the main focus. Yeah. And you're like, oh, I really can't see crap. Like there's just too much haze. There's too much clouds, especially around Ghidorah. I love Ghidorah. I thought he looked great, but there was way too many shots where you just couldn't see enough of him because there was so much like smoke and fog and stuff. Right. And it was a little. And I get they're trying to make this like godly kind of aura around them, but Rodan.
We need more daytime shots. I don't know why there's this thing where there's just not enough daytime shots in these monster movies in America. Like Pacific Rim doesn't do it. I mean, they kind of did it in Pacific Rim 2, but it still. Well, no, I take that back. Never mind. Uprising did it. That's right. Yeah. There was actually more daytime shots than there were nighttime shots. So that's one thing. But yeah, I mean, Skull Island did it too.
It's a little fitting. This movie because
maybe we're getting better.
Did have a storm around him, and as soon as Ghidorah dies, the storm clears and you see the daylight again.
Yeah.
So, I guess it kind of had to happen because
still changed the lighting a little bit. I mean, come on.
I definitely agree. I think it could have been brighter for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's been less crappy.
But hey, at least it's not like the Blu-ray transfer of 2014. At least we could see what the hell was going on in a little bit of a way. Because 2014
because it was so dark in the theater that you could actually see the screen well.
Yeah, but the Blu-ray, I mean, oh my god, I remember first getting it. I'm like, what the hell happened here? Like, why is this so dark? Yeah.
Dimetrodon 32 said Rodan scares me because he could drop a ton of lava hot crap on a city and
I've been seeing this comment from him. People are talking about how the terrifying prospect of kaiju fecal matter.
Oh, really?
It's actually helping the environment in the movie. They actually say that.
Because nighttime shots are more epic.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Dino Man's right though. Nighttime shots, they're more cinematic. They're more like just climatic.
They make it easier to set the focus on a certain area, but when
and especially when there's a lot of lights going on, it's cooler to see because it's at night. I mean, I remember when playing the Godzilla games, most of the time it'd be cool to play it during the night setting because it looked cooler. So
I think that what would have been great is that this movie had such a good dynamic with all the creatures having this glow to them. I wish that the screen was a little clearer and they really emphasized the glowing of them, and they had more of this like ambient light from their bodies that kind of made it a color contrast on the screen. I think that would have been better use of the dark, especially since they all have such different colors too. Rodan is my least favorite monster in the movie.
Why?
I don't know if I agree or I really love Rodan. Well, excluding the other Titans, I think I might have to agree. I don't know. I think it's between Rodan and I don't know. I guess I might like Godzilla more than Ghidorah. I'm not sure.
I liked it also.
Oh, I can understand why someone. I mean,
because Rodan doesn't really do
favorite
much.
monster. So
yeah,
I think we should move on to music, though.
Let's do that.
We've been like half an hour discussing monsters.
So music, I'm just going to quickly summarize it by saying, yes, that freaking Godzilla theme is back. That moment when I first watched it, when Godzilla's foot comes down in Antarctica and you hear his theme go, bam, I was like, that's the time I got tears in my eyes. I didn't cry when Sarazawa came out or died or anything like that. Nothing like that. The only time tears dripped out of my eyes was when that first Godzilla theme played, and I was like, "Oh shizzle! Like this is my boy."
You guys are making me feel like not a fan because I didn't cry at all. But I got chills
because I cried.
I got chills, but I didn't have like any tears or whatever. But
I was so awesome. I mean, it's not that big of a deal if you don't cry about it. I mean, you can still have the feeling.
It takes a lot for a film to make me tear up, like a lot. It
usually does for me too. I don't know what that Godzilla theme just got me though. I got tears.
I didn't tear up most. I did tear up Sarazawa, but I'm gonna say those Takian drums, that chanting. When I heard that, I was like, "Oh,
that's my favorite."
Oh boy! When it was like, "Huh, huh," I'm like, "Oh boy!" And then Bound Boston, when it's like, "Oh, Sora," I'm like,
"No." Yeah, it was like, the Mosura.
No. It's in the beginning. It's like dun dun dun. Oh, Soria, and then like, oh boy, it's gonna like. Oh.
And then when you see Godzilla's reflection on the skyscraper, then it changes to Gojira.
Yeah, I really love the part when he roars at the end. That you have like hop 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 hop, like the chant is like giving you more energy. Like, yeah. I just want to listen to that part
of Buddha, like summoning chants.
It's the Heart Sutra. That's the words that they're saying. Chinese Buddhist. Yeah, the Heart Sutra. It means it's about like the nothingness of the universe and how comforting it is. And Ghidorah and Sutra means zero, I think, or some word like that. And monster zero. So you have that correlation there.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's like it, like as I told you yesterday, Kiki, like
Kimberly Collier said Rodan spent the entire movie getting his ass kicked.
He did, which honestly isn't new. Rodan's always getting his ass kicked.
Yeah, that is kind of true.
For me, the music was flawless. I mean, it's perfect. Like I don't really. The only thing I wanted was the Godzilla theme, even if it was in the credits or wherever. I just thought 2014 was very lacking in that department. I don't understand why they did it. I don't know why movies do this too, where like if they do a reboot movie and they don't have the original theme, like Transformers did it.
Easy win.
Yeah, like the first Michael Bay Transformers didn't have the theme, and it's just like why? Like, but yeah, I mean, it's flawless. This is one of the best Godzilla soundtracks.
One of my things is that when I first watched the movie, I was distracted by the score when Ghidorah and Rodan first showed up because I was waiting for their themes to play, but they never happened. Ghidorah I was happy with because I actually like his new theme better than any other Ghidorah theme. Rodan I was disappointed with when I first watched the movie because I really wanted his. I was hell-bent on getting his iconic score when he was coming out of the volcano.
I was disappointed too. I don't know why they didn't have his theme in there, but
I mean,
at the element's still there.
Yeah, like
are there.
Jabaro and I were talking about this. The elements are still there with the trumpets. They have like something that sounds very similar, and I think it's more the music they have is more fitting for this movie. It's faster and it's more chaotic, and it works better for the scene. But I'd be lying if I did say that I wish that just when he came out of the volcano,
it would have been nice. It could have fit. It could have fit.
Yeah, for that part, I think it definitely should have happened. But
that theme grew on me, and the bongos are like.
It's still a great theme. Don't get me wrong. I just wish that Rodan's theme played when he first came out of the volcano. Then it was great.
With the next section, favorite/least favorite. I mean, I think we've kind of done that.
Mean, we didn't talk about maybe our favorite scenes, like favorite part. Example, my favorite part is the Godzilla roaring at the end. Well, the Titans.
I'm mostly going to use that for the few things that I didn't like about this movie.
You didn't like that? Well, that's one of my favorite parts because it then.
No, I'm going to use that section as the mostly to tell what I didn't like about the movie.
Okay. But still, man, that part, and actually, I did like at the end of the movie. I did tell you this yesterday, Kiki. Well, yeah, yesterday. That at the end when he's roaring, you see Godzilla and King of the Monsters. Like now, he's the King of the Monsters. Like the movie now establishes that he is. And just that scenery there and him just roaring. I'm disappointed that they didn't use the victory roar from 2014. But whatever. It was a great shot. And his shot when he's like super mean, juiced up. And the part when he's with Sarasawa, that intimate moment, it's better than what happened to this guy on 1991 when Godzilla just blasts him in the face. And the skyscraper.
My goodness.
That scene was good though.
Yeah.
But I don't have any. Well, I do. No, now you talk about it. It's definitely those other Titans, except for the Muto. That's my least. Didn't like them. But that's really it. I can't. Once again, I've only seen it once, so I need to see it again and again and see how my opinion changes. But because I remember when I saw 2014 once, I was like, this is the best movie ever. Now that opinion has severely changed. But I mean, it has. It's a good damn Godzilla movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even with my nitpicks with it, I still love this movie.
Yeah. And also about the soundtrack, something we didn't mention. I'm not a fan of the original. This is controversial, but I'm not a fan of the original Oyster Cult version. I love this movie's version of it.
I liked the original Oyster Cult, but this version's better.
Dude, I just don't know. I just think it sounds too weak. This one, though, it just sounds
made in the 70s or something.
Yeah, it was made in the 70s.
I mean, Blue Oyster Cult's a classic band. Of course, it's not going to sound as bassy as something that you'd make nowadays.
I mean, I can listen to it. Maybe I'm still a little bit biased because when I was a kid, I always like epic stuff. But I appreciate it, and this new version made me appreciate more the old song. But I love this one more because it feels like it just has the chance. The chance won me over.
I love how they incorporated Mothra into the theme, like the song where they say "Gojira Mo Surya," and I was like, "That's cool that they put her."
And then you have the singer from System of a Down. So I mean, can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, can't go wrong.
I guess we already started the favorites and least favorites. So I'll just quickly say that my favorite moment in the film is when Godzilla first arrives in Antarctica. That when Ghidorah, everything goes quiet, Ghidorah's looking around, and then the glowing light comes there, and then his spines pop up, and he stands there with the original theme. That was my favorite moment in the whole film. Probably my second favorite is probably when all the monsters are bowing to him at the end. I thought that was pretty cool. Or it's the part where Mothra crawls up onto Godzilla. That part was really great too. But my least favorites, I have a few issues with this movie. Ironically, since the Antarctic moment when they first show off against each other is my favorite moment in the film, I don't like the fight that much that actually follows because there was so many awkward parts in it. For one, when Godzilla slams his tail down just before he charges his breath, it feels so weird. His tail like is all heavy all of a sudden. It sits still, and then Godzilla stops moving. If you actually look in the top right of the or the top middle of the screen, Godzilla and King Ghidorah stop moving completely. Like they're not even fighting anymore. And so it just looks completely awkward. His tail drops down, it starts glowing, and then the next shot, his tail's in the air and it's curling all over the place. I was like, that's just weird. Like, why did that cut that way? That was so awkward. And then when Godzilla shoots at Ghidorah and Ghidorah shoots back, he falls over, and when he hits the ground, it looks so weird. Like he moves all slow again, and then he falls into the hole. The CGI there was just so blah, and so
falls down.
Yeah, and so that was kind of, I didn't really like that fight that much, if I'm being completely honest. I think it was okay, but I don't think it was a good fight, in my opinion. But anyways, my other thing I had a big gripe with the movie is that I thought that the Showa roars were really jarring. I didn't like that they brought those back that much. There were some of them that I do actually like because they mixed it with the 2014 one pretty well. But there was like the first roar when Millie Bobby Brown's character's sitting there and she turns and you don't see Godzilla yet, but you hear his roar. I was like, what the hell? He sounds like a screaming pig. Like it just does not sound right. And when he falls into the pit and stuff, he's too high pitched. I didn't like it. I did like the 54 roar that they used once. Yeah. But other than that, I thought that the roars were just kind of out of place when they used the older stuff. And then the other thing is that Mothra and Rodan were just really cut short in the final battle, and I wish that they were present more. And besides, we already talked about Emma Russell, my problems with her. The opening shot to the movie, I love that Godzilla's in the first 60 seconds of this movie, but his CGI looks like utter crap. Like in that shot at the beginning, like he had like no detail on his model. The lighting was so terrible. Used to it
being so dark. That's why, like, it's so bright in San Francisco.
No, but you see him at the end of San Francisco in 2014, and he looked good. They remade that model, or they lowered the resolution of it, and it looked like crap.
I think we're just accustomed because if you see in the background, they're diving down the Halo jump. So I guess that was like maybe we're too accustomed.
No, I'm 100% convinced they lower res that they did not render it at its full capacity.
I think we're just accustomed to seeing San Francisco. That battle so dark that wait.
No. You see him at the end of 2014 in the daylight, and he looks great.
But like when you see him, you see the Halo jump in the background. So this is during that part. So it's like, wait. Why is it so bright? I can see San Francisco. What's going on?
I can kind of see what you're saying there. But still, he just looks so bad. And then the way he moves is so weird. I don't know. I thought that shot
looked bad. Maybe that's why it is.
When I first saw that in theater, I'm like, okay, I hope the CGI in the rest of the movie doesn't look like that. But I think it's just because it was a throwaway beginning shot. They didn't really render it that well. I hope it's better on the DVD, but still. I thought that was just an awful shot. In my opinion, I think that CGI in that was just terrible.
But what about the Mothra twins, though? That was one of my favorite parts I forgot to mention. I lost my mind when I saw that. When she takes her hood and those are the twins.
I don't think they were supposed to. I don't think they are the twins. I just think it's another little fan Easter egg. There's so many people that are making these videos about like, oh my God, the Mothra twins are there, and all these analytical videos, and they're making
fan fiction, fan theories.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, whatever.
So what's your favorite part, though? Like, what's your favorite of the movie?
Once again, it's hard to say because I only seen it once. I need to see it again so I can like really remember all these scenes happening. But from what I can remember, I would probably say that I liked the Kiss of Death 2.0.
You mean
oh yeah.
Well, I didn't look at it as a deep throat.
That's from Reddit. That's from Reddit.
I just kind of looked at it as he had King Ghidorah's head in his mouth, and he's like burning it up and stuff and whatever.
That shot was pretty cool.
Horror's brutal.
Yeah, so. It totally tricked me there for a second. I thought Ghidorah was still alive.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, it's a Ghidorah's head on Godzilla. It's a hybrid, and then he like.
Shin Godzilla 2 confirmed Godzilla hybrid.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, I mean, as far as least favorite part, I mean, oh no, actually favorite. another really favorite part would be the fact that Godzilla has this really cool ancient looking lair. Like, talk about lore building and going back to the 54 original where he's this mythical creature that you like they have to like give sacrifices to. Not like, oh my god, like that was so, because we've never seen that. Like, that's what I'm looking for with Godzilla movies nowadays.
Atlantis, man.
Yeah,
right. In a way, yeah. And so for me, like, that's why I'm loving these new directions that Godzilla's taking. Like, I know it's like 50-50 with Shin Godzilla, but I like that because it was new and unique. Even the anime, people didn't really like, but at least it was somewhat different of what we're doing. And then this was like this whole cool layer and this whole, history with Godzilla. I love that. So as far as least favorite, I don't know. I mean, yeah, they do blow up the lid. I don't know. I don't know if there was like my least favorite part. The movie was just a good ride the whole way through. There wasn't really any bad low points in it.
The first part was a bit slow. Like,
no, I thought it was fine. I mean, I'm used to Godzilla. That's a Godzilla movie. Of course, it's gonna be slow in the beginning. That's just how it is. You have to set up the premise and the characters, and you got to introduce them, and I guess I'm just used to like slow beginnings in Godzilla movies because that's literally the franchise. It's always been a thing.
Hey, but it's still a good movie. I'm not saying that. It's just for me. It's
Final Wars. Final Wars never had a slow part. That's for sure.
Final Wars slow. Final Wars is not slow.
I said it never had a slow part.
Exactly. Be sarcastic. Final Wars is so fast.
Oh yeah.
It was actually confirmed by the director that she and her sister are the twins of this universe.
Okay, well, but once again, that's just an Easter egg. They're not the twins.
Yeah, like they're not going to have the relationship with Mothra.
And they're not going to sing and chant and whatever. No, that's stupid. No.
Instead, they're going to admire the song Mothra singing for her dying husband down in Atlantis.
Oh God. Yeah. So, and that's from Atlantis, or people say that's Citopia, like where Megalon is. It's a cool theory. Wow. But there's like statues of Godzilla human.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's in the room where Godzilla was laying down.
Yeah,
outside of it, there were humans.
My question is, how did that get there?
See, like right there, that is what you do to make a comic book for lore building. That is a perfect example. You set up this scene, and it's mysterious, but it's something that you don't need to know because it's just there. But if you want to learn more about it, then you can go get the comic book.
Yeah, how did the city end up under the water? Because
exactly, like have that as a thing because it's not important to the main story of that installment, but it's there. And if you want to learn more, then they could have this extra little piece of material for you, but they don't, unfortunately. So it's like great.
And actually, in the next movie, Godzilla vs. Kong, they're going to explore the Titans' origins. So maybe we're going to see the reason why the Titans or something like that, because that's part of the plot for that's what
according to the synopsis.
Yeah. So now we get to my favorite part. Aiden knows that this is totally going to be my favorite because it's not like we haven't talked about this every time we've met up.
Oh, wait, what?
Godzilla versus Kong speculation.
The wrap-up, basically.
He's just going to be hearing me repeat myself. He already knows what I'm going to be saying.
Yeah, he's going to see the same thing I said, so we basically told him everything. But I don't
even know what I wanted to say for that section. Let's just take a chat break real quick because we haven't done one in a while, and then we'll get to that.
I'm going to take a little break. I got to go feed my dogs.
But, do that.
All right.
All right, so we have. I thought Ghidorah was still alive too. Yeah, that scene was freaking awesome. Yeah, I really liked the villain speech. I know some people were turned off by the whole speech that Emma Russell did, where she's talking about like humans destroying the planet. But I'm personally, that message really hit home to me because that's how I really view what humans are doing to the planet. I think that that's a very important message that people are. They have this attitude of like, yeah, whatever, global warming is, it's so overdone. Everybody keeps saying it and stuff. But I really think that it's such an important message. And I think that Godzilla is like the perfect character to use for a message like that. That's something that's been engraved in his history since the very beginning. Is nature and this conflict of what mankind does to the earth with the atomic bomb, with genetically enhancing plants with Biollante. You have with pollution with Hedorah. These are themes that you return to with Godzilla constantly. And I thought it was a perfect way to encapsulate it and really give the film purpose. And I think it's the perfect message for a modern Godzilla movie, is about climate change and overpopulation and all this stuff. And so I was really happy with it. And in fact, I think it's probably one of the biggest contributors to why I think this is my favorite Godzilla movie. It actually hits home to me, and the message to it actually means a lot to me. So I think that's...
I just agree. I kind of think that's been so many movies, but like I do like the idea they actually bring life into
that part was pretty cool.
They're playing music in the background, guys. Hopefully they doesn't listen here. But I really like at least the whole part that bring life. So there's like a duality in their destruction and their carnage. They bring life, and I'm a fan of that concept in many stories.
How will Kong get off island? I don't know. Maybe
giant balloon. I'm calling it now. Like the first movie they fought.
Oh god.
Balloon.
Yeah, giant balloons. That's what they'll do.
They're gonna drop him off Tokyo. There. That's the final fight. I'm calling it now. They're gonna fight in Tokyo.
Drop him off a mountain. He rolls down the mountain and slams right into Godzilla.
Shove. I told Aiden this. Like they would be cool if, like, for a reference, like the shoving the tree. They have Godzilla like flinging his arms.
I think he's just gonna ride. I think Rodan is just gonna get pissed at Godzilla, like he gets pissed at everybody, and he's gonna go over to Skull Island. He's just gonna let Kong ride him on his back over to Godzilla.
Kong.
I will immediately give this movie a 10 out of 10 if we have King Kong rolling down a mountain and slamming right into Godzilla.
If I see him like
10 out of 10
pulling like a tree in his mouth, that would be great. But like,
well, I guess as we're talking about Kong speculation, I know Star Wars Jabaro said this. I've heard it many times by other people too. And Cesar, I don't know if this is what you're talking about. He's telling me to tell you guys his theory. But there's a theory going around that they're going to use King Ghidorah's DNA to actually give him the electrical powers that he had in the original one. And that's what they're doing with Ghidorah's head.
With Kevin's head.
What are you going to say?
That is actually a cool idea.
Yeah, I agree.
I actually like that. I
think that's slowly growing on me, but I personally still don't really like the idea of
better than them doing Mecha King Ghidorah with it.
I agree.
I would much rather
they're going to use it for, then I'll be happier.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we saw Ghidorah using that lightning and stun Godzilla. It makes sense that they use it with Kong, so then that's how he can hurt him using.
Yeah, they can give Kong some kind of edge. Yeah. So.
Yeah, of course. I still want to see that tree part when he puts like a tree and blasts.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
Why are you calling that your theory? That's what's confusing me, Cesar. The first time you ever told me about that, you're like, have you heard? There's this theory out there that they're going to use Ghidorah's DNA. Like, you literally told me it was someone else's theory.
My theory is that they're going to make Bacon in the new movie using Ghidorah's head.
No.
Oh, my God. It's going to turn into Manda. It's just going to grow the rest of the way out.
Bagel. Bacon to bagel. And that's how Kong and Godzilla fight, because they want a piece of that bagel.
I never understood what we can do about overpopulation. We can't just kill everybody like Thanos. Do we try to spread it out more? Actually, the average child number per family is actually reducing. If we reduce it to the worldwide average to just a flat 2 per family, it's the average, then that means there's only enough children being born to replace their parents, and then we're not increasing in population. That's one way you could resolve it.
Or you believe in the whole... when someone dies, someone's born.
Yeah.
Coronation, yeah.
I mean, that's just but that's a whole different topic.
Yeah, but we're talking about Kong and all this stuff. Like, my speculation is that I want at least this movie to end with a clear winner. I want them to fight. I don't want them teaming up. And I want this final scene is Godzilla and Kong standing. Like, whoever wins.
Chris is gonna hate you. He like me coming up with an idea where both of them survive.
But I think it would be like a nice thing though, because it would be like them and they would like stare off, and then Godzilla would go off, and then Kong would go again. But I honestly think they could maybe I think they could mind control them though. That's something I actually theorize that maybe there's gonna be mind control involved.
No, awful. No, no mind control, no third party bull.
Yes.
What
if
no outside thing to interfere with this battle. Just good old 2v2 or no 1v1 and just go at it.
Bear with me.
Yeah, Rodan and Kong with riding into battle with Mothra and Godzilla.
No. Bacon shows up in the middle.
Bacon.
Oh wait, but this is my third theory about it. What if maybe they destroyed Godzilla's home? Godzilla's the alpha now. They follow where Godzilla goes. What if Godzilla's moving to Skull Island, and that's how it happens? Kong feels threatened.
I don't care how they meet. I don't care how they meet up with each other to fight each other. I just better not be any other third party thing. It's just them.
I mean, it's a conspiracy to so there has to be something there.
One thing that worried me is that both Jabbar and I both saw this. It's one of those weird things where I'm not subscribed to the person, but YouTube decides to show me their community post anyways. I don't know why, but anyways, it popped up on my phone, and this one channel that I apparently watched one of their videos or something posted this community post, and it was a poll asking what people would rather see, King Kong and Godzilla fight and then team up, or fight and there'll be no team up. And I voted for the no team up, and so did Jabaro, but most of the people voted for a team up. And I was like,
kidding?
No, I know. I was surprised. I'm like, what
the hell is wrong with you people?
I'm like, why do you want them to team up?
It's just going to be another Batman versus Superman. We don't want that. Oh my God.
And even Michael Dougherty said that he wants to see them team up. He said that everybody he doesn't want to see them fight. He wants to see them team up.
Oh,
and I was like,
God.
Man, your rewrites better not have been the end of this movie, because I'm gonna punch you. I really don't want them to team up.
I just want to see a fight in Tokyo. The final fight should be in Tokyo and daylight. Make that
look. Like I said, I'm a simple man. I don't care where they fight. I don't care how they meet up. I don't care what characters are going to be in it. I just want Godzilla versus Kong. That's it. Simple, to the point, brutal death match. Let's go.
So you want?
That's all I want.
Who do you think is going to die then? Kong.
I want Godzilla to win, of course. I'm Team Godzilla, of course.
Oh
yeah. But look, even if Kong wins, I'm still going to be happy because at least there was a winner. So even if Godzilla loses, I'm still going to be happy because it's happier. It's what the movie is supposed to be, the title's namesake. I mean, if anything, yes, I don't like Godzilla King of the Monster as a title for Godzilla 2 because it's already been done, but at least that subtitle made sense in the movie. Exactly. So do the same thing that in this one.
Yeah,
Godzilla.
If you're gonna have them team up, you should be just calling it Godzilla and Kong: The Battle for Earth.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, so like I said, I'm very simple. I don't care who wins. I don't care how they meet up. I don't care where they fight. Just give me that death match, man. Because the original did not. It left me on a cliffhanger, and I don't like that. So they need to finish this fight.
Yeah, I agree.
That's all it is. A Japanese franchise versus an American franchise. Let's go.
Full blazing. Let's make this violent, bloody, and epic.
Make it trilogy violent.
Should be in this movie too. He should compose.
Dino Man wants Kong to win. Why do you want Kong to win?
Because it might be the underdog story.
Like D-Man.
But they can make it tragic. I think they may actually put it tragic.
I think it's more fitting. I think Kong's gotta lose.
Technically, it is Godzilla's trilogy.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm not gonna lie. There is a little sliver of possibility, or a decent possibility, that if Kong wins this movie, I might be pretty disappointed with the ending of it. Just because I'm pretty spent on Godzilla needs to win this one.
I mean, he took down a damn three-headed dragon from space. death.
Yeah.
You need this monkey to beat him.
Right. But this time he doesn't have his friends to help him.
I love this comment I saw on a community post where people were like, "What were your thoughts of Fire Godzilla?" And there was like a bunch of comments I was reading through, and one guy's just like, "And Kong's supposed to fight that?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of what I think."
So they're definitely gonna do something to give King Kong an edge because they just have to, and it's also a size difference. I mean, King Kong might not even be the same size fully. Who knows? But
you never know. He might be
but that's all I want. That's all I want from this film. I just want the fight. Don't add anything else. Just make it simple. Keep it simple, stupid.
I know when you switch back and forth between upper and lowercase letters, it means you're crazy. But I don't know if you were having an honest crazy opinion or if you were being like silly crazy.
Guys, I know who's gonna win the movie. I got leaked information. You know who's gonna win the movie? And Anguirus. He's gonna pop out and pummel both of them.
Destroy is obviously gonna win, dude.
No. It's gonna be Manila. Manila. He says, Godzilla said I should fight my own battles, so I'm here to kick your butt.
I'm not gonna be a Godzilla fan if that happens anymore.
Hopefully not.
I'm gonna sell all my DVDs of Godzilla. I'm just gonna be done with it.
I'll burn this shirt.
Yeah, I'll burn everything that's Godzilla related in my house. Nope.
But Kong won in the original. That's kind of what I feel like.
Yeah, I know. But
a definitive stance, but I do feel like the movie was trying to hint that Kong was the victor because he was the one to come out.
I mean, there were reports of the directors, whatever. But there's just something floating around the internet that there is. I don't know if it's true or not, but there's just been something that has been this ever since the movie came out that people have always been like, well, I don't know, because Godzilla didn't really die. And you saw
did Freddy and Jason versus Freddy, but still Jason won. He cut him in a bunch of pieces. I mean,
that's horror movie. I mean, those guys never die. You fucking cut their head off.
Still, Godzilla never really dies.
I mean, if you cut Godzilla's head off, he's gonna die. It's not like he's
but then another Godzilla comes back,
or he's gonna come back to life. No, I mean that's they had to end the movie that way for Freddy versus Jason because they're like, well, we can't really kill any of these characters because they're just gonna come back. So they did it in a funny way. But in this, it's like, no, they die. Like that's. Yeah. So
I need Melina.
Pop out and say that now.
Pop up now and say that.
Somebody animate that. I want someone to animate that. Just they want to pummel your butts now.
Now that Godzilla's eaten and consumed some of Ghidorah's DNA, I do think that he could regrow his body parts like an axolotl. I do agree.
He just barbecued him. He didn't eat him.
This is an interesting comment here from Goat. It says the reason Kong won in the original was because he was more popular at the time in both Japan and America.
Yeah, my butt crack, dude.
I don't see how that makes any sense because in 1962, King Kong had nothing going on in the franchise.
Yeah,
like literally nothing. So I don't see how Kong could be anywhere in the spotlight in the 60s. And then
I think
Godzilla,
the reason they hinted at Kong winning is because Godzilla at that stage had never been a good guy. He was always a bad guy. And so if he's the bad guy, you've got to have the good guy win. Kong's the one that's good.
And it's true. When you look, the movie did make it to where Godzilla was the bad guy and King Kong was the good guy. I mean, that's the way they framed it up in that movie. So I mean, that's also probably nothing. But there's something about that movie that the Japanese version being somewhat different, because there are differences in both versions. They're big differences. But one of the things is that, and someone can clarify it because I have never actually seen the Japanese version of King Kong versus Godzilla. But there's something that like in the ending.
Not true. That's not true.
The endings are the same.
Does not have a difference.
So they do have King Kong's roar at the end, like the exact same way? Or is it Godzilla's roar?
I heard Cinemassacre. He said it's the same ending. It doesn't change. It's just
this is what I mean, though. We're all confused. Means that there's no definitive thing here. That's why this film needs to make it definitive so that everyone goes, yes, that's what happened. Because we're not sure about that ending because it wasn't there hasn't been any reports that have been like, yes, this is it, unless I go out and buy the movie. But maybe, like I said,
from Adam Wingard, right, where he actually said that he didn't like that there was so divisive about the original ending, and he wants.
Exactly, it's very divisive. So it's like, I mean, unless someone
that he's going to hold true to what he says, where he says that he wants people to leave the theater saying, "Okay, there is a winner." I quote. He says, "Okay, there is a winner." That's what he wants.
Like I said, if there's anyone in the comments that has both versions of the American and Japanese version, say it. Say like, what happened in the ending? Are they the same? Because apparently I don't know. Well, one, I haven't seen the Japanese version, so
I've just seen in multiple like Godzilla myth videos, they would always like bring that up, and
there's
I think even about it or something like that.
Yeah, there's something about the endings being different in the versions. Either it's King Kong's roar not being so apparent, and you hear a little bit more of Godzilla's roar, or whatever. But apparently, it's not concrete because all of us are going, huh? So. Yeah.
Do you think that Alan Jonah is actually trying to get DNA of all the kaiju to make an Ultimate Titan, and him buying the decapitated head of Ghidorah was the first step?
Actually, about that, he's not listed in the movie Charles Dance, so he's not going to be in Godzilla vs. Kong. Well, I could be wrong.
That's true. That is actually, I was just about to say that I don't think so, because I actually have a really heavy belief that the best theory is that they're going to use it for the electrical powers for Kong. But if Charles Dance isn't in that movie, then how the hell is he doing? That wouldn't make my sense.
Goat. It's just, you're not making sense. Just because Kong had no movie activity in the 60s doesn't mean that he wasn't more popular. How does that make sense? How can you have a successful franchise that's popular if there's nothing going on in that time? No, there's no way King Kong had any kind of popularity in the 60s. There was nothing going on with that franchise.
He was a popular monster. He was well known. Yeah, I guess I should say he's well known.
Okay, sure, but the last time a movie came out was what, in the 30s?
Yeah, 34, I think. No, 33.
Did he not have? Is that the second ever Kong movie?
No, Son of Kong was the second movie, and that also came out in 1933.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm looking this up now. Let's see. Kong movies. There's no way that Kong was more popular than Godzilla in the 60s. There's no way.
Japan, there's no way that Kong was more
especially
popular.
In Japan. Yeah, especially in Japan. No.
54 hit home for
I think he was in Japan because
and then also, but remember, in Japan we had Rodan, his own movie, Mothra, her own movie, and then a bunch of other Toho non-Godzilla movies that were out. And there's no. Okay, so I'm looking right here. So, all right. So, in the 60s, all I can see is there's a bunch of.
I agree with you, JL.
Like,
I don't think that the amount of movies that is currently being produced is a good indicator of how popular something is, or at least a foolproof one. But it's at least it has some correlation. My thing is that I just think that when Godzilla 1954 came out, that was like the biggest cultural movie ever. And not only was it the biggest Japanese budget movie ever made at the time, it was just a huge culturally significant film. There is no way on the planet Earth that King Kong was more popular than Godzilla.
No, I don't.
I mean, King Kong inspired Godzilla, so there's something like that.
Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. It was Creature from 50,000 Fathoms or whatever.
Well, it was part of it, though. It was some sort of
a little bit, but
not
as much. Not as much. No.
It was the concept of King Kong.
It was before the 60s, it was before the 70s. That's when King Kong got his reboot. Was in the 70s.
Yeah.
So there's no. I just can't see how Kong could be more, especially when the golden age of Toho movies were popping up during the 60s. I could see
maybe in America, like I don't think Godzilla was really getting off to his bigger steam at that time in America.
Because America, I'm pretty sure America liked Godzilla when it came out in 56.
Really?
So
yeah,
I mean, America did its part to make Godzilla popular. It wasn't just Japan. So, and there were a lot of Japanese audiences that didn't like Godzilla when it first came out. because it was very controversial when you think about it. You know. Yeah. So
and
I
Kiki
don't
in
know.
the Japan version, Godzilla roared before Kong.
But hey, look, Goat, if you can come up, if you have an article to cite this information, then then to prove us wrong, then go ahead. But
we're not really providing any evidence ourselves either. But I mean, besides just that,
but I mean,
I think it's enough of argument just to say, like, just if you think about Godzilla at that time, I really don't think King Kong was as big of a deal in Japan.
Yeah.
Just in my personal opinion. I'm willing to have a third monster as long as Godzilla and Kong don't team up. I think there's gonna be other monsters in the movie. You have all these titans on the planet. I think the movie would be brain dead if it didn't show other monsters that were roaming the thing. And we already have all the new monsters converging to Skull Island. So I think there's gonna be some kind of plot device around Skull Island and Kong.
Skull Island is gonna be the new Monster Island. That's what it's gonna be. That's what's most likely going to be.
It already kind of is.
See, that I'll agree with Goat. You can understand Kong was not being as popular in Japan, but there's no way that, in his opinion, though, that Godzilla was more popular in America.
I agree with that. I agree that I don't think Godzilla surpassed Kong in popularity.
Because for Godzilla, the last movie that came out for him was in 1955. Then 56 was King of the Monsters, but there still was that
American movie and American Pride, so
right. Well, there still was that gap between the 56 American version of Godzilla and then King Kong versus Godzilla, which is 1962. So there was a gap. Yeah. So I mean, I just think on both ends, both monsters just were not that popular.
You really think about it, King Kong hasn't even made like a squat amount of movies compared to Godzilla. I'm just like thinking about it right now, and I'm like,
but I don't.
Dang.
But once again, I don't think it's not the quantity of movies. I mean, because look at Godzilla. I mean, yeah, he has all these movies, but it doesn't mean that all of them.
No, I'm not
great.
saying it.
Yeah.
Like there's not much franchise potential with Kong. I mean, you make one, maybe two movies, but other than that, there's not much distance to go with it.
Because the story ends in the first one because Kong dies.
Exactly. We have to make a Mecha Kong and add Gorosaurus like all these other things.
Well, that movie was god awful, so we don't really need to talk about that movie. But I don't know. I just think I just don't want any third party interruption with Godzilla versus Kong. That's all.
Yeah, well, I agree with you, Dynamite. I don't want them to team up either, but I do feel like there's a strong chance that they will.
I hope so not. I hope for my mental sake. I just want to see them brawling.
Yeah, I'm really hoping. I'm holding faith in Adam Wingard's comment from that interview that he said that he wants people to leave the theater saying, "Okay."
I would just hate to walk out of the film.
Yeah.
Then we see destroy at the after credits, and we're gonna be like, "Oh God."
No.
Yeah. Yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong, Zilla and Manila are going to show up and scream at Kong, and that gives Godzilla an advantage.
This is gonna make him have a heart attack.
For the advantage is them to his children to scream at them. Zilla's not his child inside the canon. Never mind. He is in Monster Island Buddies though.
Yeah.
Oh well, definitely now. I'm just reading. I'm having this conversation with Goat now, but the Godzilla and yet Kong and Godzilla are very similar in popularity at the moment. Of course, now they are. Yeah, now they are. That makes sense. So, which is good. I'm happy that Godzilla and Kong are like both popular now in the mindset of moviegoers. So,
yeah, I do like the new version of Kong, but I don't like.
Oh, I love it. I love Skull Island. Yeah, I mean, my favorite Kong movie is still Peter Jackson's King Kong.
But I love this new Kong. This Kong looks mean. He looks like he can really, really mess up Godzilla. But that was before.
There's D-Man. At the end of the stream.
At the end? Oh my God.
My God.
If you want to join it, you still have the link on Facebook, so you can join in the last few minutes, but we're going to be ending it really soon here.
Yeah, just join in quick so we can say, hey, big fan of your work. I'm subscribed to your channel.
What was I going to say? Oh, I watched the OmniViewer a lot, and he actually made a really great video because a lot of people are saying that they think that Godzilla is going to become the villain of Godzilla versus Kong because they were talking about like that line where Chen at the end, she's like or like thank God he's on our side, and then she's like for now.
Right.
But OmniViewer is like there's more indication inside the MonsterVerse currently that Godzilla would be the good guy and not Kong. One, Godzilla has never attacked a human, even though he's had plenty of opportunities and reasons to attack people. He just kind of ignores them. And Kong has had so many opportunities to attack people, and he's almost taken up every single one of them where he's attacked people.
Oh,
like
yeah.
he's actually fought them. He seems to be much more aggressive and territorial. Godzilla seems to be more.
Though, I mean, when they showed up on Skull Island, they were bombing the shit out of his home.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would make him grumpy. So, I mean, I would wonder if you'd put Godzilla in that same situation.
Shot himself. He was getting pelted by an entire army at the same time.
So, I wonder if you put Godzilla in that same situation, if he would do the same thing. So, I think it's just...
well,
really?
maybe. I mean, technically, his home did get blown up by a nuke. But he just came up.
No, I'm talking about like if you literally replaced Godzilla with Kong in that part when they're blowing up, you know, they're
that's a good question.
Dropping bombs on his home,
and then all monsters
they start pelting him. Yeah, they start pelting him with bullets. I mean, I think Godzilla would be like, you know what? I'm gonna kill these things because they're good.
Yeah, but they did the same thing in 2014. They shot him and he was just ignoring them. But again, he was hunting the Mutos.
Chris makes a good point because if there wasn't a monster like the Mutos or King Ghidorah distracting him, then I do think
D-Man.
Yeah. Hey there.
Hey man, sorry, dude, I wasn't home.
At least we advertised the video, so D-Man's here, guys. We should clap, maybe.
Late.
Made it.
My goodness. Yeah. So, anything you wanted to say about Godzilla King of the Monsters while you're here?
Yeah, like a
about King of the Monsters.
Yeah,
it was a good one. I liked it.
Aren't you? He's probably tired about. He's probably tired repeating the same thing because he's made like 10 videos now on the same movie.
Well, have you talked much about Godzilla
how much more could he talk about?
Yeah, I just did a Godzilla vs Kong video, but. No, I think Godzilla is going to be the bad guy. Here's why. If you read the comics, Kong, they make a point that Kong is the protector of human life. He doesn't care about life. He cares about human life. So they make that point, like that. If you've read the comic, they have this like terrorist blow up the wall of the people on Skull Island, and Kong comes rushing in because he doesn't want any of them to get hurt. And one of the last lines of the comic is like, "Oh, Kong's here to protect humanity." They're not going to take that version of Kong that is so clearly established as a hero now, and then go, "Well, he got angry and just decided to go on a rampage."
Personally, I don't think either are going to be bad. I think that they're just going to have a personal conflict between Kong and Godzilla.
Well, they might do that.
Being a bad guy, I'm fine with it.
I don't think they're going to make Godzilla a bad guy. I just think they're going to make Godzilla worse than Kong.
I think
because if they're trying to take down one of them, you think they're going to. I kind of agree with that because, like, if they have a problem with Godzilla, maybe new Titans start coming out with the presence of Godzilla, and so they're like, well, if we kill Godzilla, then maybe we can get rid of the other Titans too. Kind of like their logic.
I kind of think that maybe Godzilla hurt by accident. In one of the fights, he's gonna knock something that's gonna piss Kong on. That's how it's gonna maybe start. Because I have a fear that's gonna be the first fight. It's gonna be in Skull Island, and as we're gonna duke it out, and then maybe the humans will intervene. Maybe the eco-terrorists, maybe somebody in Monarch.
Yeah.
Maybe the key to the Titans' origins is in Skull Island, and that's maybe where they're going to go there to the Hollow Earth.
But it's also like they built up Godzilla being the key to coexistence. Literally, they've stated that.
It's also like twice. It's like the theme in the soundtrack. Yeah.
So it's like, why would they? It's like also I kind of feel like why would they want to get rid of Godzilla, who they've established as the key to keeping Titans and humans in balance? If they get rid of Godzilla, Kong can't hold his job. I don't think any in any shape of the word. I don't think Kong can ever do what Godzilla does.
Well, maybe Godzilla just he just gets too out of control. Maybe he just becomes too powerful.
That's possible.
Maybe Kong's just pissed. Maybe like, hey, you're stepping on my home.
Yeah, I mean, I would look at Godzilla, especially what he just did, in this movie and being like, I think that's more of a threat than King Kong would be. And
I'd agree.
I mean, King Kong's just a giant ape. You could just take him down with a couple whatever. But I mean,
actually, almost did kill him with napalm.
Guys, I have a crazy idea. What if the eco-terrorists, maybe they're mad at Godzilla for what happened with Ghidorah, and that they want to take him down, and they use Kong, and that's why they mix him with the DNA of Ghidorah. So then Kong, if they kill Godzilla, they kill the other Titans or something like that. It's not a bad idea. It could work.
Yeah, if they kill Godzilla, all the rest of the Titans just fall and die.
No, not like that. But you know, it's an idea.
He's the mothership. You got to take him out first.
He's the central head. You take him down, everything falls down.
Like I said, I don't care how they do it.
Is your guys' thing like you guys think that they are someone is gonna force them to fight because they want one of the two gone? Is that what you guys have come to an agreement on?
My main thing is I don't care how this gets set up. I don't care what.
Just don't team up.
Yeah, just don't
team up.
That's all I care about. I don't care how they start to fight, how they meet up. Just have a fight. That's it. That's all. I don't care how it's done, how it starts. Just don't have them team up.
That's
all I'm saying too.
It's simple. It's just keep it simple. Keep this movie simple.
Next month is July. That's when they released the King of the Monsters first trailer, and it's even less time till Godzilla.
It's true, yeah. I mean, we're like less than a year from it.
So I'm betting we might get the trailer for it as soon as the trailer run for Godzilla is over.
It'll probably be like a teaser thing, though. It might not be like anything great.
King of the Monsters did not do a teaser trailer. They just went straight to the trailer. So you never know.
Did they?
Yeah, they didn't do a teaser.
I mean, I know it wasn't.
They just went straight into it at Comic-Con.
I know it wasn't like a concept trailer like 2014 did back in the day.
They a picture though. They released the image of Godzilla his breath in the sky. But
yeah, I feel like the first thing will be a really
they've
quick
already released the
trailer. It's not. Yeah, it's going to be some kind of money shot, and then they're going to use that as the poster for everything for the the promotional stuff, and then we'll probably get some like official trailer. That's what they always do. They always do that.
Showed too much in the trailers for King of the Monsters, so I'm gonna watch this first Godzilla versus Kong trailer, and then I'm just
not watch anything else.
I'm gonna try to avoid watching the rest.
I'm back. Jesus.
Oh, D-Man, you can't do it. You're gonna have to watch it all, aren't you?
My God, my internet just.
I know. I have to watch all. I don't get a choice.
Well, you could.
You do have a choice.
I am avoiding TV spots. I'm not. There will be no TV spots for this movie.
You're doing it yourself, but hey,
we'll see them probably.
Just do the trailers.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna stick to the three main trailers. If they do a fourth one like they did with King of the Monsters, I'm not watching that. I'm sticking to the three main trailers, and that's it. I mean, because like I gotta pay for college.
The TV spots are pointless. I mean, they're just
loaded with spoilers and yeah.
Oh.
Well, I really hope for your sake they do a better job at hiding stuff.
Oh, I certainly hope they do. Well, and it did not help King of the Monsters. It's like we show everything in the trailers. Well, look what that did for the box office. It didn't help the box office. 2014 had a much better box office, and that showed nothing.
I kind of have a thing with that, though. I think the reason why 2014 made more money, just on the fact that there was a drought of Godzilla for the 10 years. And then now we're getting a bunch. I mean, Shin Godzilla came out, the anime came out, so Godzilla's had movies now. So I think that might also be a reason why it's just like sequel fatigue.
Avengers Endgame, it helped everybody.
Yeah,
that's Marvel has such a. I mean, they're so much bigger than Godzilla. But
everybody just spent their money on that movie, and then this movie comes out right after it. I mean, there's going to be a lot less people that are willing to.
That's see another. True too. Yeah, the competition as well. I mean, yeah, that's and when you're fighting against Marvel Endgame, or Avengers Endgame, you're definitely going to lose.
Summer or a year are going to watch Endgame, and they're not going to watch Godzilla.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's.
I still love.
But I think that's why 2014 made more money though, is because it was Godzilla's back, so let's go see it. Yeah. So.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of reasons why that movie did better at the box office than just the trailers. But I'm just saying the most profitable MonsterVerse film so far showed nothing in the trailers.
It's true. No, I mean, I agree.
Did Skull Island make a little bit more though?
No. Kong Skull Island made more than King of the Monsters, but it did not make more than 2014.
2014. I thought it was like just by like 20 million or something like that. Let me look it up.
Definitely not opening weekend.
500 million.
2014 made a shit ton of money.
700 million. 700 million. 500 million was Kong,
the
and
reason we have this series now. So
Godzilla 2014 made 529.1 million. And then
I think what we're talking about is the opening weekend.
That's what I'm talking about. The 90 million compared to the 60.
Not like lifetime.
Oh well, yeah, their opening weekends are definitely different. But Kong made 566.7 million.
Kong is a more consistent player at the box office than Godzilla is. Kong can bring in money longer than Godzilla can.
Yeah,
Godzilla seems to die out a lot faster.
Yeah, it seems to be that initial.
That's always
so. What I'm hoping with Godzilla vs Kong, you know, we got the Godzilla influx opening weekend,
and then
that seems to be a thing. And then you got the Kong's long-term game plan here helping us out.
I think this movie has potential to make some serious dough.
I'm pretty sure it will, because it's a crossover film. Crossover films always make a shit ton of money, and Godzilla or King Kong versus Godzilla in 1962 made it was one of the highest grossing films when it was out.
It is still, I believe, the most profitable film in the franchise when adjusted for inflation.
Okay, it is still okay. Then perfect. Yeah, then I think
it's a chance still.
Even over 2014, I thought if we're adjusted for inflation, 2014 was a little bit higher.
It might be, but still, I mean, number 2 out of 65 years.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, that movie has stood the test of time for sure.
That movie was a big
money wise, not quality wise.
What other MonsterVerse adaptations do you want? I know Chris doesn't.
I feel I'm the only one in this group that doesn't really care if the MonsterVerse dies at 2020. I don't know.
Okay, you want to hear? Go.
Wait. Okay, sorry. I am with Chris here because I'm like.
Really? Oh my god! I thought I was the only one in the world.
I'm actually half and half. Like, if it continues, then great. But you know, at least we got to see that fight between these two monsters, and we're like the first generation in years to see that. So I'm glad it's gonna happen. And we got quality. Well, if you can say quality movies, at least we got 4 little movies, and that's it.
Aiden knows what I'm gonna say here, but it's just I've seen so many franchises that I love.
Halo.
Exactly. And you see what they're going on now, right? Halo has had a big gap because of the drop in quality. They had to go back to the drawing board, and now we're gonna get the next Halo game.
Or Star Wars that's crashing and burning in the process.
Exactly. So my issue is that when you annualize a property like this, now Godzilla's not any stranger to annualization, of course. We've seen this. But look what always happens to it towards the end. Now they run out of money, the quality gets worse, and then they end up just cutting the series for another 10 years, and we don't talk whatever. So,
yeah, but this is American, so if they cut the series this way, then Toho can still do their own thing.
But
no.
But that's the thing, that I don't want to see my favorite franchise of all time really just like, if it's ran by Hollywood with all that money, I don't want to see it just crash and burn at the end. So I hate seeing things become annualized just for the sake of making something every year. It's like, I'm fine with waiting. Like, yeah, I mean, does it suck to wait? Yeah, it does. But I mean,
like they do, like they do the big gaps like they did with this, but they just keep it going.
I know, but see, but we're entering the MonsterVerse now, where we had this movie this year. The next one's already out next year. So I told you, Aiden, I'm gonna slap you if they all of a sudden. You agreed with this. I'm gonna slap you if they say like, "Oh, a Mothra movie's coming out in 2021." And
you said Rodan. If Rodan comes out in 2021,
another MonsterVerse movie. That's what it is. If it turns out to become like every year like Marvel, or even if it's multiple movies a year like Marvel does,
oh god,
then I mean, it's like, you know,
I used to see D-Man just quiet looking down like, oh my god, he's so disappointed.
Well, no, because he knows that if it becomes that, he has a lot more work he's gonna have to do.
No, I'm being quiet because I know the answer. I know what happens next, and I'm not supposed to. Well, so I'm refusing to say anything about this because I know how this goes.
Then tell us. Come on.
I can't.
Why?
I'm not allowed to.
How do you know?
Because I had a meeting with some important people, and so I know what happens next.
Is it bad or good though?
It depends on what your stance is.
I don't think he can say that.
Did you like it?
No. I understand what D-Man's saying. He's on thin ice right now. He can't say anything. He's probably
I can't say anything.
NDA. You probably signed an NDA.
I didn't
right?
sign an NDA because it was an accident.
Oh,
an accident? Wait. What,
interesting. Wait a minute.
Guys, this is the first video.
All I want to know is, did you like what you heard?
I can't say that.
But if you
I
didn't
can't
sign
say
an
if I
NDA,
liked what I heard.
it's actually not that bad if you didn't sign an NDA.
You already said what you want to happen.
What?
You already said what you want to happen, so you can't say if you liked it or not.
Right.
Then it would feel
right, because then you'd know. Because then if I'm like, no, I'm disappointed, then you'd be like, okay, so
that doesn't happen.
Oh my god, I'm just like, oh god, what does he know? That
it was in a meeting that they were not supposed to. I don't think they were supposed to tell me what they did, and they told me, and so now it's going to be difficult to do.
Cut it out of your review or your video or whatever you did.
I didn't have that on recording.
Oh,
that was a private meeting that I did not get on recording.
That's pretty cool.
How do you meet these? Like, Jesus Christ, those are sick connections, man.
It was I don't even, I guess it kind of, okay. When I got flown out to Houston for Anime Matsuri, which was 2 weeks ago, when I was there, I had a meeting with people that told me more than they should have told me.
Why did they talk to you though? Like, did they see you and they're like, "Hey, come here"?
Did they see me?
Well, like, why? The thing I'm wondering is, like, why would they even talk to you about something like that?
Well, they know who I am because that's, I was there, so they know who I am.
So they consider you an influencer then,
right?
Okay.
I don't know why. I just don't think they knew that they weren't supposed to tell me.
Interesting. Okay.
That's strange. But interesting.
They tell you the future of how the series goes. I don't know if that's something that you should be sitting there like. I think you should just be sitting there like, I shouldn't say that.
I will tell you, it's not like I don't know who wins in Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't know how the movie ends.
Okay.
But I know if they plan on doing something in the future.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So MonsterVerse continues. Confirm you heard it here, folks. Maybe. Who knows?
This is where you say. This is where you say, I can confirm nor deny that.
It could be just as much as that we're sitting here like, oh yeah, like look at this movie that could come out, and then he's like,
I'm calling it now. It's gonna continue in comic form. There, boom. That's what's gonna happen. Comic form.
But no. When I was having the whole thing, when I was saying like Mothra in 2021 and stuff, D-Man's face, he was very quiet. So you might be getting that slap, Aiden. I swear.
I don't think if there's another one, I don't think it's going to come out in 2021. I think it's going to come out in 20.
I know he does too.
I don't know, Aiden. I've seen these franchises and how they become annualized. This is how it starts.
Okay, let's do topic change. To answer that question, I have one crazy idea.
D-Man, did you just say money?
What?
Is that you? I don't know. Someone said money.
I said money
for it.
Oh,
okay, yeah,
like,
money.
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, money is the reason too.
Well, I have one crazy idea.
I'm not the only one. The comments are also saying it. JL, I bet you $5 a band. Oh wait, a band. I figure it's a moth. Oh, I bet you. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, a Mothra solo film. Yeah.
I like the idea of doing a Rodan solo film, but with Megaguirus as a villain. This is an idea as a movie. Period. What do you think of that? Because like think about the fact that in the original movie they actually used Meganulons as his like food, and what if there was like in maybe the MonsterVerse Megaguirus's like spawn or his food source, and then they would have this queen that would grow up, but this queen that all the little dragonflies guys go to Godzilla, get his DNA, make her into Megaguirus, and then she's threatening to like make a new population of these giant like things, kind of like the Mutos, like she's gonna lay eggs and stuff. But
so she's Megalon Prime, Megalon Prime.
Yeah, and so she just completely avoids Godzilla, so she will never get near Godzilla. So Godzilla can't hope to defeat her. So they kind of like maybe they help Rodan, so because he's maybe fast enough
Come
to
on,
fight.
Kiki. We know the one you want to see is Biollante. You want to see Biollante.
Sequel to Godzilla.
I think
Destroya. Please.
I think stop it with Destroya. I think with it also depends on, I don't know, D-Man, if you might pitch in to help or whatever, but I think it also depends on what Toho has planned, because we know they have this thing called Godzilla World.
This is what I know about. I know about what Toho is planning on doing. I know if Toho is planning on, I know what Toho's game plan is. That's what I know. And so I know how that will affect everything else.
Was that also in the meeting you had?
Yep.
Was there a Toho representative?
Oh, is that?
That's
are you
who
just
I was talking to.
Are you being more
a
specific?
Toho representative. Oh, interesting. Okay.
You're just being more specific that the spoiler that you got was what Toho's plan was, and that's why you know how it ends.
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. So then I'm just gonna see if I'll predict it. I don't know, but it depends, because Toho has had because the difference with the copyrights and the right holders between Japan and America is a lot different. So even though Legendary Pictures has the rights, or Warner Brothers, whatever, Toho can still pull the plug at any moment they wanted to. But obviously they've seen how successful these movies have been, so they're like, yeah, of course we're going to keep on letting them do that because they get money no matter what. So what it depends now, and a lot of the reports that have been around, they're rumors, of course, but this thing that the MonsterVerse ending in 2020, the fact that Toho gets the official rights back or whatever, it depends on then if Toho wants to make their own series again, because they are not going to want to fight against Legendary or Warner Brothers. They don't want to have this competition against each other. They want to make sure that they get all of that money for the movies they're going to make. So what might happen is that the Godzilla vs. Kong might be the last Godzilla movie for the MonsterVerse, and then Toho takes Godzilla back. But then we also have, because I know Universal is also a part of this, right? With
they dropped off, I think.
Did they? Because they own King Kong, though, right?
I don't know. D-Man?
Universal,
maybe?
I think Universal is the one who is allowing Legendary to use Kong,
because they own the rights.
It's not like a King Kong's rights are very complicated. No one really knows who they wind up with or who they lie with.
Yeah.
I believe they are both owners of the character now. I don't think it's like a Spider-Man situation where Sony has to be involved. I think they both just own the character at the moment.
So, so what I think might happen, especially depending on how Godzilla vs. Kong does, because that's another thing, because if it flops, then that could change everything. But they might end up, Godzilla just said, maybe Godzilla loses, right? And he dies. And then that's their way of saying, okay, Godzilla's done for this series. But Legendary and Warner Brothers, they're going to continue the MonsterVerse with other... And then, like I said, they've set up all these extra Titans. So maybe that will be their supply of monsters. And then on Toho's end, we'll have the new Godzilla series. That's how it could be. Or the MonsterVerse...
I would be sad if that happens, to be honest.
I don't know. Or the MonsterVerse just ends and it's done, and that's the little series we got. And then Godzilla goes back to Toho completely, and then we continue in Japan. Or something that, and I've told you, Aiden, plenty of times, that I think would be cool is if Toho and Hollywood really came together and made a collaborative event. Not just saying that Toho just sits and observes. Like, no, I want Toho involved in the whatever they're going to do. So that would be cool.
They do that and go with the MonsterVerse. They already have a great universe set up that's more in depth than any other Godzilla universe.
Exactly. We don't want that to waste.
That depends on what Toho really wants, because they might want to reboot. They might want to do a soft reboot or something, because maybe they don't want the ties to the MonsterVerse. So they might just want to do whatever. But I mean, I don't know. It's like I said, I don't mind if the MonsterVerse ends, because I think after Godzilla vs. Kong, what we got were really good films. And if that's it, then that's it. And I'll be happy. If it continues, fine. I just don't want it to become not special anymore. And that's what happened to me with Star Wars is probably one of the most sad things for me, because I always would go to a Star Wars movie as this is an event, this is awesome, oh my god, Star Wars is back. And there were breaks between the movies, and now after episode 7 there was a movie every Christmas, and then look at what happened to Star Wars. It got just like Star Wars isn't special anymore.
People got tired of it.
Which is terrible. I never thought that would happen. I came out of a Star Wars movie with Episode 8 not really feeling satisfied. I didn't even go see Solo in theaters. That's the first Star Wars movie I didn't even go out to see. And like that, if you would have told my younger self that you were not going to go see a Star Wars movie in theater because you were so disinterested in it, my younger self would have laughed at you. But like, no, that wouldn't happen. But it did. And so like, I don't want that to happen to the MonsterVerse where it's like, oh, here we go, another monster movie's coming out. You know, I want it to still be this cool event, this cool like thing. And I don't know, I've seen it in Call of Duty, in Halo, in Assassin's Creed, all these franchises that think they can just come out every year, and it's not good. It's not healthy for the franchise to keep on shitting out a sequel after sequel.
It's more of a lack of
every
creativity, I would say.
And a lack of creativity too.
Or maybe a lack of stopping, because I saw all the comments. I think it was Dino Man or I don't remember, but he said that, or Dimetrodon, that I respect that idea of having a franchise that ends and ends. That hey, this is our time. Here we go, and just let it go and go to the next thing. And I admire that, because today's day and age, it's pretty hard to do it, especially with Marvel now.
And I guarantee there will. History repeats itself, especially with the Godzilla franchise. I guarantee there will be a time where the last film comes out. They're like, look, we're spent. We can't do this anymore. They put Godzilla on ice for another 10 years. That I guarantee it'll happen again. I guarantee it'll happen.
What if the MonsterVerse stops, and then after those 10 years, they decide to maybe start it again, and we have sequels to that? That's also not.
They reboot it, make remake.
No. Well, if they remake, at least make it the lighting much better for San Francisco. You told me.
That's all they gotta do.
So, in summary, we want like a universe around Godzilla's revenge.
What?
Godzilla
says, "I'm gonna pummel your butts" or something like that. Manila showing up and kicking.
I don't know where you got that from.
I want some annual sequels of Godzilla's revenge. Don't you guys agree?
I think. No. Wait, I think I know something. I know why D-Man's quiet. They told him about Manila being in the movie, defeating Kong and Godzilla. That's why he's like that.
That's the secret.
You guys know how everyone thinks that they're gonna team up against Destroya? It's actually Gamera.
Oh my gosh!
Gamera. No, it's Gamera. They're gonna bring
not Gamera. It's not Gamera. It's Gabra. He shows up with his red mullet that they gave him now, and his lightning powers.
Again,
Manila comes and saves the day.
Manila flies and just says, Godzilla says, "I'm gonna pummel your butts now."
It's not Manila, it's Godzuki.
Oh God! No.
But Manila's gonna come in flying, like in Godzilla vs. Hedorah, flying, and then he's gonna jump on top of Rodan or something like that. It's gonna be the climatic ending.
Godzuki is just a man-child from Godzilla and Mothra actually getting down.
Godzuki Sarasawa revived.
Oh, there you go, Monstron buddies. There's another episode for you.
Oh my god. I want a final scene of Kong getting his face stomped on as Mothra flies in and Godzilla roars against the sun, then fade to black and credits rolled by a Rodan or Mothra solo film.
You know the other reason why I really feel like there'll be a Mothra solo film? I mean, because there is an egg at the end of this movie. So like I'm really pretty sure they did that on purpose.
Well, also Rodan's alive, so it's like if they're not going to use both Godzilla versus Kong, what are they doing?
I'm pretty sure they did that on purpose because all these deals.
How long is it?
I know, D-Man, you're probably sitting here just thinking we're all a bunch of idiots, but I mean, like, because we don't know. So
get on track.
I think like all of these deals, they get done way early in advance. So, I mean, Toho might have already signed a contract, or someone might have already signed a contract for another like 10 years of something. We don't even know. But I mean,
I'm seeing D-Man too silent here. He's like moving his mouth.
I just think it's a solo film.
I'm just pretty sure in 2021 we'll get some kind of thing that will be related.
Maybe Gamera. Maybe they'll bring Gamera finally. Kill off Godzilla and maybe bring Gamera. Hey guys, here's Gamera.
Kong versus Gamera.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry to all the Gamera fans, but I really think Gamera's dead. I really think.
Oh my god.
Who was it? It was like
maybe that's.
It was like president of Katakawa or something just recently tweeted about Gamera and was like, glad to know people are still interested. So like
maybe we'll start making a movie.
He's like, Glad you guys liked that 2015 short film y'all thought was a trailer. We'll do another one here in 5 years to trick you again.
Oh,
That was a big cock tease right there for sure.
I hope they just keep doing that. They just got to keep making these like 5-minute Gamera short films and releasing them as trailers and not telling people that they're not films.
That's the cinematic universe. That's the smart thing. 5 minutes, and then you piece it together.
5-minute cinematic universe.
And after 30 years, we have a full movie.
And then we got like 20 comics explaining everything.
Yes.
And 12,000 podcasts.
God.
No, Godzilla fights Thanos. Oh, Jesus.
No, I think Thanos loses. Fight me.
But can't friend of all children.
Friend of all children. Is that how it's gonna end? He's gonna say Godzilla is inside our hearts all along. He's gonna dance at the end.
The character's gonna summon camera.
Although, actually, if we're talking about like speculation with the future of the Godzilla series, what do we think about Shin Godzilla? Do we think they are going to do a sequel?
I don't know.
Do you think that's in the
I
cards?
don't really know. My dream movie is that we have Godzilla, legendary versus Shin Godzilla.
It's confirmed that they have a sequel.
I don't think that movie needs a sequel. That's just me.
I don't think.
But
What about this? What if we see Godzilla, legendary Godzilla versus Shin Godzilla? That would be interesting to see. I don't know. Godzilla.
I just think you just can't really do much more with the Shin Godzilla incarnation because I mean, he can't fight another monster.
I mean, you can make it like this basically if you want. I'm just thinking like legendary. Maybe they're making cells like taking the blood for the Titans. Maybe that's their first attempt. They try to make a clone of that monster. I don't know, and that's how it goes. Like that's boom, an idea. And we haven't had like a Godzilla versus Godzilla film. We only have like Space Godzilla Mecha.
They go in their Toho vaults and grabs the Godzilla versus Ghost Godzilla idea. Hey, let's actually do this now.
And then we have Bacon. Then Bacon shows up.
And Bacon shows up. Toho's just like, we're really out of ideas. Let's go to our vault. What do we got here? Oh yeah, we got like a billion traps of things. We'll just pull one out of the hat. That yeah.
Godzilla versus Batman.
Obsidian same movie, and it'll be the new War of the Gargantuas.
Oh God!
Godzilla versus Batman. Okay.
That was gonna happen. Jeez.
Maybe we should talk about something that D-Man actually can talk about.
We're talking about. Well, I guess
speculations and stuff. I don't know. I was out for like some minutes there. My internet lagged. It's been like 3 hours. Jesus, 3 hours, dude. This is the longest I've done.
No, I've been on a thing. What was it? That live stream with D-Man. What was it? Like 5 hours, 6 hours? That was.
Yeah, there's been some absurdly long live streams on my channel.
That got really stupid at the end.
That got really stupid like an hour in.
He doesn't get too stupid now that in the end. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's 10 o'clock where I am. Jesus.
We're complaining about a 3 hour stream, and D-Man's like, sissies. I've done 24 hours.
Like 7 hours, guys. That's my top.
Well, this is my first stream, so I'm like, yeah. And it's 10 in the afternoon, so I'm tired too. It's Jesus.
At least we don't have all the mad ASMR that we get in your streams.
I don't want to know.
Do you want me to start?
No.
No.
I
I swear to God, I will leave right now if you start that.
I'll be cringing like people who chip Godzilla and Mothra. Oh God, no! I'm getting.
I will leave if you start that again. That was painful.
No.
D-Man, no, don't.
Are you sure?
Don't. I don't.
No, please
get
don't.
Your fancy mic away from your mouth.
Somebody, please put me out of my misery. Godzilla, blast me into oblivion.
Get it away from your mouth. I said no.
I had a meeting with.
He totally ditched. Oh my God.
We got him.
I saw it here first. D-Man versus Chris Kaizen. D-Man wins.
Yes. Same thing that happened with our channels too.
Oh yeah.
ASMR pulse.
I mean, this was a perfect metaphor for the channels, right? I showed up for a little bit at the same time as him, and then he disappeared, and I stayed around.
Fan 93 is now buried in the
I just compile music together. That's what I do at the moment. Hopefully, I branch out, but
Oh my God, is he gonna come back?
I don't know. I don't think he will.
I don't think he's gonna.
Oh, there he is.
I'm back.
There he is.
I heard that, D-Man, by the way. I heard the playback. Very funny. You're funny.
Thank you.
Hey, it's
quite funny.
You know what, D-Man?
It's not good.
mute him.
Hey, you know what? I will say, D-Man, you wouldn't be here without me. So,
Oh.
Says who?
Chris said right now.
You
I mean,
know
let's be fair. Let's be fair. Without
you
Aiden,
know it to be true.
we wouldn't
Search
be
your
here.
feelings.
Oh hell no! If it weren't for me telling the idea to Kiki to make a live stream, nobody would be here right now.
That's a good
They would
point.
he'd probably be doing an ASMR live stream on his
Oh,
Yeah.
and then Chris would not be watching it.
No, there's something about the ASMR stuff that it just really gets under. Like it,
yeah.
I hate it. Like it's
Yeah,
just so. I don't know what's about it, but I hate that kind of thing.
Everything
Oh,
gets
God.
under your skin.
I don't know how there's like fans of that stuff. Like it's just so, you know.
Thank you,
Don't
gentlemen.
touch his art form, man. He's an artist.
Exactly.
I mean, people can like what they like, but my God.
I'm gonna do. I'll leak the spoilers that I know, but I'll do it in ASMR form so that Chris will never get to hear them.
Perfect. But I will listen
Funny.
to them because I want to.
All right. Yeah, I see it. Okay.
I'm totally like, I almost like want to beg you to tell me what happens, but I don't at the same time.
I mean,
I'm just afraid of getting him in like legal trouble, so I don't even want to.
I don't know. I feel like I can't get in legal trouble because it was like their fault.
so they will get fired then. Not you.
I know, but still, I mean, they could. I mean, if I don't know,
I mean,
What if-
they
what
could
if-
snap and my channel would be off the
they
face
could.
of the earth. if
They
wanted
could. I
to.
mean, that's what I mean.
So,
Like, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to put you in that situation.
yeah.
There is an alternative, guys. But if I say it in the stream, oh god, if I say in the stream, then they can track it back. But I think you guys can insinuate what I mean as a way.
Well, I don't. Have you? Is this like information you just revealed on this stream, or have you said it in other streams before too that you've gotten the ending leak?
No, I have not. I have not talked about it.
So we're the first people to know.
Information from Kikizilla 101 magazine.
Well, this is the first. This is interesting. Great.
Are you upset or happy that you got to know what's happened?
It doesn't make a big difference. Not like I'm changing the way I make videos just because I know.
Yeah. But I mean, like, because
still doing
for us,
what I'm
we're like
doing.
going crazy with anticipation, wondering what's going to happen now that you have a more solid understanding.
But D-Man's face just looks so like he has. I just can see his face on this tiny screen, and he just looks like he's looking at the distance, like, oh my god, what is like? There's some concern.
Okay, maybe like this. That because you know, like, is the future? Is it? How should I say it? Like, I'm trying to keep it like very.
Maybe you should ASMR.
General.
Do an ASMR. Maybe that'll be the way.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, because I don't want to say like, oh, does the future look exciting? Because I mean, of course, that's a given.
Well, I mean, again, that depends on your interpretation of what you want to happen.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
some
right.
people would be like, "Yeah, the MonsterVerse is ending," and other people are like, "Yeah, it's continuing."
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it?
Take your time. Don't worry. No pressure.
He's like going to construct like a 7-step riddle for me to answer, just to get
No, I'm
this.
just trying to figure out a very general way to say, like, I mean,
My
does
man.
Godzilla have a future in the next 5-6 years?
Oh, I just have a conspiracy. Dino Man is actually D-Man in the Dino Tube universe because he's D-Man. If you just
That's what the D stands for.
Oh my god.
And he dropped the 54 and you dropped the Eno.
Yeah, exactly.
My goodness.
Those
gracious.
spoilers are all eat your toes. Oh, D-Man, you got a fret here. JL. He's gonna eat your toes if you don't say anything. Oh my god.
I kind of feel bad.
That's like the first time I've ever gotten that threat. I gotta.
I've gotten many of them. My house exploding and stuff. And my toes, those are pretty precious.
Yeah.
I've never gotten any frets. Consider me
Seriously.
lucky.
I've
As
only
it turns
got
out,
one threat.
brother. Well, that could work too. But then you'd both be D-Man. So that's just like too many D's in one house.
Yeah.
Too many D's for one man. Maybe?
Aiden, shut up. Oh my god.
Atomic blast again. Oh god.
I told you to be careful on being on the stream and
look at you going over here.
Yeah. Hey, that was from Reddit, dude. That was from Reddit. I don't think D-Man knows what I said.
Oh, tell him.
Okay, so I saw this Reddit comment. I was searching, and it said that, okay, Godzilla gave the Muto the atomic kiss, and he gave Ghidorah the atomic deep throat.
I have seen so many people saying, "Can we please call it that?" No.
You're just ruining that scene for me, like just hardcore. Like I'm never gonna see that scene the same way. The next time I see it, I'll be very disappointed, and I'm gonna have this stream to blame because be like, yep, they ruined it for me.
Blame Reddit.
Want to stream with me again? He's like, no.
Yeah, no, I'm never gonna. It's like, hey, you want to be? No, because you ruined that movie for me.
Blame Reddit, not me. Okay, I was just bored, and I just saw that's hilarious and wanted to share it.
I have some King of the Monsters questions for you, D-Man. So who was your favorite monster in the movie?
Mothra.
Mothra?
Mothra was my favorite. Yeah.
And what was your favorite moment? And I know you did the top 10, but I haven't watched it yet.
My favorite scene is the speech Serizawa gives to Mark Russell right before they go into the Hall of Earth.
So not a Serizawa fan. Nice. I thought it was only one.
Yeah.
Oh my.
That were not that much. I teared up in that part when he actually dies and explodes.
That whole sequence, everything with Serizawa is great in this movie. I love it.
Yeah.
That speech he gives, I think, is just awesome.
Yeah.
They did a good job with Serizawa's send-off in that movie. Like, a really freaking
Oh yeah,
big time.
I mean, they blew up Godzilla's home, but it's okay. They killed Ghidorah.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, Serizawa's like, I love Godzilla so much. Well, I'm at it. I'm gonna blow this out.
I'm at it.
For love, there must be a sacrifice.
And that's gonna be Skull Island. Godzilla vs. Kong 2020. Blame Serizawa for this fight.
Blame Serizawa.
It's the movie's just really Godzilla's looking for a new house after he's homeless.
Godzilla Home Improvement.
Yes. He goes to Skull Island and he's like, "Hey, is there a room for rent?" And that's where the problems come in.
He's like,
actually,
no.
Kong is actually okay to it at the start. I'll give you guys the spoilers. Kong's like, "Yeah, move in," and then it's like an odd couple situation that just results in the fight. That's what happens. So there's your official spoilers.
Someone didn't clean the dishes, right?
Yes, they can't figure it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Kong's gonna be like, "I can't handle you, Godzilla, anymore. You are so toxic. Yeah. You are radioactively toxic. I can't."
Go back to Mothra.
It's like you're literally poisoning my island just by being here.
The trees are dying.
The buffalo, the steer buffalo, they're dead everywhere. I pick all of them up.
And also, your little pet Mothra, she's got to go. This ain't happening.
And your roommate Brudan, he needs to clean his eyes. Because I'm gonna hit him with a tree if he gets near my buffalo.
Oh my god.
Kong's not gonna have a beard in this one. He's actually gonna have like a full on like freaking.
He just has a mullet. Yeah.
Oh no! Oh god! Why do you? Oh god! No! That looks so. Oh god!
So funny. Just Kong with a mullet or dreads. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna look for that. Is that actually? Let me see that King Kong with dreads. I'm gonna see that.
Oh, you'll probably find it. It's the internet.
I'm gonna send it to Keith.
Just that.
Oh my lord! What am I looking at?
Did you find it?
No, it's called Dread Kong. It's from Super Mario. So there's nothing. There's nothing there.
D-Man, do you think a third monster could work as long as Godzilla and Kong don't team up?
Yes. I don't care how many monsters are in the movie, just as long as they don't team up or the other monsters don't distract the fight.
Yeah. And with that kind of end thing where they're talking about all the monsters converging to Skull Island, I think it's inevitable we're going to get more than just Godzilla and Kong in that movie.
Right. I remembered there being a quote from Adam Wingard where he did confirm there would be more, but I have tried to track that down and I have not been able to.
Oh. Well, I'll take your word on it.
Well, I don't even take my own word on it because I could be confusing it for like an old Michael Dougherty quote, but I do remember at one point, like 2018, talking about Adam Wingard talking about there's going to be more in the movie, but I have not been able to find that.
I know you want Kong to win, but what do you think is gonna happen?
Well, he knows how it's gonna end, so I think it's not a fair
doesn't-
question.
No, I don't know. I
No,
don't know.
no,
how
he
the
doesn't
movie
know
ends.
that. He doesn't know that.
Oh,
No, yeah, I don't know who wins.
He just knows the future.
I
I guess.
He must
Yeah.
know the future of MonsterVerse.
yeah.
it ends. That's the future of God.
I want Kong to win, but I personally believe Godzilla will.
Oh, you do think Godzilla will?
I think so. Yeah. I think if they do have like 2 fights in the movie, Kong is gonna win round 1, and then Godzilla will win round 2.
I think it's gonna be 3 fights. One Kong wins one, Godzilla wins one. Then in the end, it's gonna be a tiebreaker.
Well, then who wins the tiebreaker? It just
That's
cuts
the
to
thing.
black. It's like Rocky.
It turns into
Rocky 2, you don't
2014.
find out.
Godzilla roars and Kong roars, and it fades to black, and that's it.
Yes.
Come back in 2035 to find out who wins.
Yeah, you have to wait for
The DLC. You got
Kong v. Godzilla v. Gamera.
you have to wait for like whatever the Creed equivalent is in this Godzilla universe for like an old grizzled Kong to be training some new young monster, and then he'll reveal it. He'll be like, there was a secret back alley fight, and here's who really won.
And then it cuts back, and then we jump into another movie, and
It's just that's how the movie starts. The entire rest of the movie is just a
Kong
fight.
trains Gamera because he loses like Rocky does, but then he comes back and he trains Gamera, and Gamera beats Godzilla.
So it's official. We're gonna have Gamera fighting Godzilla, avenging Kong, 2095.
That is a long way.
Yeah.
And we will get movies once a year until then.
Yeah,
Yay!
we'll get an Anguirus movie. We'll have a Ebra movie, a Hedorah movie, and a Manila spin-off series on Netflix, voiced by Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill is Manila.
As the D-man that was Dorothy from King of the Monsters. He's saying that's what the quote is.
Yeah, I remember the Doherty quote, but I remember there being a quote relating to Godzilla vs. Kong. But again, I have not been able to find it, so it very well could just be my bad.
Do y'all think Kong will have his electricity powers back? We were just talking about that, and there's a theory going around that they'll use King Ghidorah's DNA to give him that power.
I don't think you need that. I think you could just say he's a big monster. He's big and hairy, right? Static electricity builds up.
Well,
He just touches someone, and then there you go. I mean, Skull Island is covered in like purple lightning. That's not normal lightning, so you could just say, "Oh, it's something to do with Kong's biology."
That's true.
I actually really like the King Ghidorah head, though. That'd be really cool.
I don't like that theory because it just doesn't seem like something we're gonna follow through with. You know, Charles Dance is not confirmed to be back for Godzilla vs. Kong.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the deal. I don't know if they're gonna do that. I guess they're really keeping that one a secret, but I don't know what the deal with that is.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're doing. Because especially like that's one of the things, like the loose ends that makes me curious is like if the MonsterVerse ends in Godzilla vs. Kong, it's like what was up with
it could just be an open end just in case, and then that's it. If it doesn't
And
go
then
anywhere well.
I mean, we got a post-credit scene to Final Wars, right? We got Mothra flying to the island all intact. So if they did a post-credit scene there, who's to say they won't do it again?
Oh my God! Yeah, I think there is one. I remember.
Oh, yeah.
It's during the credits. It's not post-credit in like the Marvel sense, but it is during the credits.
Oh, like when they were showing like Hedorah do his like gas spray that wasn't in the movie and stuff like that. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it ends that little montage ends with the clip of Mothra flying back to the island.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a quick second.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
What are they trying to say?
But
Humpty Dumpty was put back together again.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. What was the other one? There was like Tokyo SOS or something ends with a deleted scene, or not a post-credit scene where they're like, "Oh, look," and they still have Godzilla's DNA, and then you're "Oh no,"
and nothing happened.
I would say, you know, it wouldn't be the first time that they.
It's not. Yeah, they've done that. They've done that a lot. So.
Yeah, and also GMK ends with Godzilla's heart beating.
Right.
I think kind of more of like a send off, like saying like he'll always come back.
Yeah, I would consider GMK's more of like coming full circle as like
a
symbolic, whereas there is just like a blatant post-credit scene at the end of Tokyo SOS that they do not follow through with.
I think in general, Godzilla always has an open end, because even the first movie that came out, there's kind of like an open end and more like a message. So I think it's like follows the tradition.
Oh, we just said, Goat, it wasn't a end credit scene. It was like like behind the credits in the end montage. It shows much clips, and the last one is Mothra.
Yeah, it's very brief though. I think it's very brief. You just see her flying, and then it just cuts to Godzilla walking with Manila.
They're
or Minja, whatever.
I forget what I was gonna say. Actually, never mind.
Godzilla. Oh, that's just D-Man. Do you think that there are too many main characters in King of the Monsters? As much as it did, I think it did. What? As much as
they like it, I think it did.
I think he's trying to say, as much as I liked it, I think it did.
No, I don't have a problem with too many main characters in the movie. I think it's fine.
What happened to the 24 right?
Cast, but I think that Mark Russell was definitely the main character.
Yeah, I agree.
No, it's gonna be Alexander Skarsgård probably.
No, in Godzilla vs. Kong, that is gonna be Mark Russell, Zaya Zhang. I know I always say her name the American way, which upsets some people, but I'm not gonna like pronounce it the Chinese way. It's gonna be Mark Russell, Zaya Zhang, and then Madison Russell. Those are going to be the characters of
Madison's
focus.
Got some friends now, so I'm really curious how that's going to go, because she's with that kid from Deadpool. So I'm really curious what they're doing. I really want to see
She seems like she's going to be way too edgy in this movie. She's got her long black hair. She's hanging out with Julian Dennison.
Ghidorah, I just got all.
She's like, my mom died. My mom got melted by Godzilla. It's all edgy now.
I'm gonna go cut myself, gosh.
I listened to Billie Eilish. My mom got melted by Godzilla.
I'm the bad guy this time.
Yes.
She's the reason that Godzilla and Kong fight. She just goes and tells both of them rumors about each other. Oh, Kong said
It's Godzilla Mean Girls edition. Great.
Godzilla said he doesn't like furry monsters. Oh my goodness. Star Wars Mania, what? That's you.
That's someone else, actually. I know him, though.
No, why are you... you were commenting in the comment section is what I was saying. I was reading your comment. Plot twist, Gamera is the one that brought Ghidorah to Earth.
Give me a moment, guys.
Yeah, because that makes total sense.
He has carried things through space before. As much as I like it, sorry for the error. Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. We figured it out. If Manila is the monster villain in Godzilla vs. Kong, I will jump into a volcano.
I'll jump with you.
Take me, Rodan. Just take me. Oh, my goodness. So how's life treating you, D-Man?
It's all right, you know.
That's
it's been busy. So
what have you been doing? Just like college and stuff like that?
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on. There's all sorts of problems with college at the moment.
Tell me about it. I know college problems.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of problems, like even just getting me registered. They messed it up, so they put me in as, I signed up for film and television. That was supposed to be what I was majoring in, and they signed me up as an art history major, meaning that I'm not allowed to take any of the classes that I was supposed to take because those are all locked off. There was a secondary app that they never sent. So I'm currently in the process of trying to get into the proper college and fix their mistake, but they are very slow with that process.
Oh, tell me about it, dude. College.
So you're just like setting
terrible.
up to start at this like next semester or when school starts up again?
What about it?
You're getting ready to start up when school starts again. You're actually going through the summer.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I feel bad for both of you. I'm probably going to end up starting college pretty soon too, though. So I'll be in the same boat.
Are you in college at the moment, Chris?
Oh, well, I was, and then decided to drop out of my media pursuit because in general, like after 5 years of trying to get for it, because I graduated in high school in 2012 and then went right in to a community college in town. And from that, because at that time I knew I wanted to be a game designer, so I was going into all the art majors and stuff. And then I just have had bad luck with college. Like, me and colleges don't do well. And
what did I miss?
so now I decided, since I was like, well, literally everything I've learned, like when it comes to multimedia, like Photoshop, video editing, directing, stuff like that. I mean, honestly, the Kenshin series has done more to teach me what it takes to be like a filmmaker than college has ever done for me. So I just decided to completely just not even go for that anymore. And now I'm going more for the vet stuff. So this September, I'm hoping I'm going to be taking a vet tech assistant program that I'll be able to finish in under a year, because it's an online only program. And it's one of those online only programs that you can finish at your own pace. So you don't even have to wait for like semesters. You can just go and just finish all the classes as fast as you want. So I'm going to do that. And because as much as I hate college, and as much as I hate the whole society thing of you need a piece of paper to prove your worth to get a job, I know I need it. So I need something under my belt, and this will be my like 5th attempt at college. So I'm serious. So, like, I've not had a good time with college. Me and college do not go, and I'm not even a good study person too. So that's also another problem. Like, when I actually get into the classes, I just have a problem studying too, because I've never been good at it. So I don't know. I don't know what's really going to happen, but I know that I'm done when it comes to multimedia art stuff for college. I'm done with it. Like, I've learned more just doing it myself than wasting all the time and money for it. So
yeah,
stop ruining it for D-Man.
No, I'm doing it not because I want to. It's like you have to get something.
Yeah, no, it works for some people. Me personally, it just didn't work. And I after 5 years of trying to get something to work, whether it's, and I know what you were going through, D-Man, when it came to like colleges screwing you up when it came to classes you wanted. That's happened to me. I've dropped out of some colleges because the classes they were offering me weren't available. Like, get this, I joined one college that had a game art design certificate program, and then I was taking a couple classes and it was great, it was doing fine, and then I went to the advisors to sign up for the new classes, and I wanted to take the game design class, like the namesake of the certificate, right?
Yeah.
And I go in, I kid you not, they tell me, the board or whoever makes the decision of the classes, they've taken out the game design class in their game art and design certificate. I'm like, how much money am I giving you people? Like, what the hell is going on here? So I dropped out of that because I was like, that's stupid. And so I've been looking into this new site for this vet stuff, and it seems very straightforward. And like, I think that's the other thing too, is because the media arts field is still kind of newish, I think, to like education. And I just think colleges don't have the correct like steps you need to take, because there are so many people like us that have made a living or are making a living or doing things on our own, like in our parents' basement or whatever. And there's plenty of people that have made a living doing the things they want to do, just indie style. But, if you want to be a lawyer or a doctor or something, you have to go to college. It's not like you can just be like, I'll do heart surgery on this guy because I watched a YouTube video about it, So I think
it's like, it's all right, guys. I watched Doctor Strange like 4 times.
Okay. Right. Now, I know who not to get a surgery from.
So I don't think college has the exact best way when it comes to media yet. But, like when it comes to vet stuff, that's a traditional thing. So I think finally I found a place that will make sense, So hopefully this will do it, because I'm so sick and tired of like education getting in the way. But I need to do it.
I mean, I'm not going into like the film and television program with that intent. I want to be a writer. I'm just doing it because I need something.
A fellow writer? Wait, what are you writing? What do you want to write? Because I'm writing a book currently, and I like to know more writers.
I am too, yes. I'm in the process of writing a book. I have multiple short stories, and then I have a comic book that I write. So it's like that's what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
You got me beat. I only have one book, and I'm like pouring it. I'm reading the first draft still, 100 pages in.
At least you I was like, at least you finished the first draft. I'm like
2 years to write it down. 2 years.
I started writing my book. It was around SDCC weekend last year, so it was like mid-July last year, and I don't know how many pages I'm up to. I could pull it up and check, but
Currently, I have 355 pages. I read 100.
What's my book called? My book is called Prayers for Peace.
And what's it about? Or a summary, if you can disclose it.
Looks like I'm 72 pages in.
Okay, good. Are you writing it in order, or are you writing it, out of order, the parts you want to write first? Because that's how I usually write, like what I want to write first, and I go back to it.
I wrote up like a 10-page treatment of what happens, so I have the full thing planned out, and then I'm writing it in order.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. If it works, it works. But in my experience, you need to write what you like first. It's easier. And that's how it went to me, because I tried.
That's what I do with my comic book. Yeah.
Yeah.
With my comic, I'm all over the place with that one. It's like I'm writing way in the future, and then I'm like, I'll just fill in the gaps when I need to. When I get the time.
But what is the book about, though? What is it? What's the summary? What is it? Science fiction, giant monsters?
Yeah, it's a horror. It's horror. So, I don't want to talk too much about it, but it's a giant monster story, but it's a horror take on it.
That's called Prayers for Peace.
Yeah, there's actually, you should maybe read the there's the series that has that I know Matt Frank, the DeviantArt, he designed Nemesis.
Oh,
I've heard about
that. That's a pretty popular one.
Yeah. Well, go for it, because I'm writing a science fiction fantasy book. It's not giant monsters, but
I don't want to hear it. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
it's not monster related, so it doesn't matter.
It has some themes to it. It has some themes. Like, there's some about it, but I can maybe drop the name so people can maybe know. It's called The Weapons of Origin. It has some things that I like about horror in it, but it's sci-fi fantasy with some elements. There are some things that have Godzilla related stuff, like inspired, but it's not. That's not the plot. So I'm throwing it now because I've been talking with Diesel about how approaching that for my channel, because I only do music suites. Literally, that's what it is. Like, if you search for Surge Tanking Godzilla music video, I'm the top one. I'm like, whoa, great. I did a good job on that, because everybody just lazily places together different scenes. Like, I did an effort for that to sync by accident, and I'm proud of it.
I'm sorry to anybody who just had to see my legs. I know Dino Tubers aren't supposed to have legs, but
yeah, no, I lost mine too. Don't worry.
Yeah, no. I got mine back, but
yeah.
I'm Kiki, by the way. I think
I'm gonna sever 93 in order to get your legs back.
Yeah.
Kiki, by the way, I think I'm gonna have to leave because it's late now. It's almost 11 p.m. and I have to get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably a pretty good point to end the stream, anyways. So,
yeah.
You were saying that an hour ago when I joined.
Aiden, we should probably plug though for Friday what we're doing on Friday.
Oh, yeah. So we're doing it on the Kenshin series channel, right?
Yes, Kenshin series.
So over on the Kenshin series channel, I'll link it in the description of this video of this live stream. Once it's finalized, I'll go in and link it. Go to the Kenshin series channel. We're gonna do a live stream this Friday at 3:30 p.m.
3:30 Mountain Standard Time.
So like 2 hours before this stream started, whatever your time was, and we're gonna be talking about the series and stuff like that. So that'll be pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, it's basically just gonna be a ramp up for G-Fest, because me, Danielle, and Vinny are gonna be there. Danielle and I are gonna have an artist alley table. We have some merchandise that we're gonna be selling. We're really excited about that, and what else? We're going to be revealing Kudajiro's new design.
Oh, we're doing that on a live stream?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun. So that's just something that we wanted to do on that. But we're also doing comic books and writing and stuff like that. So yeah.
Oh,
actually, because Aiden, you're coming over, and then we're doing a writing session too. So
yeah. So I'll be actually on his screen through the live stream, so you'll get to see us.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
I'll look for it if I'm not working on my stuff.
And I'm pretty sure the whole team is going to be there, which is awesome because I don't think that's ever happened where we've been able to get like the whole team to do something like that.
Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Everybody who stuck through the stream the entire time, thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I want to thank Star Wars Jabaro for jumping in and doing his face reveal today. That was really awesome.
Is this a face reveal?
Yeah.
Face reveal.
I'm a pleb. You know, whatever. I do want to add something about it. It's great, like meeting you guys, Chris and D-Man. I'm a fan of both of you. Subscribed. It's so strangely awesome to get to at least talk to you guys and meet you guys. It was a blast. I would do this again for Godzilla vs. Kong. We need to do it for next year.
Oh yeah, this is the stuff I still love to do.
Oh yeah,
like I know I might not do the videos no more, but this I love doing these interactions and stuff. This is what I still like doing. So this never gets old.
But it was really fun. Maybe next D-Man can get earlier so we can get more discussion because he just came for the end.
Yeah, D-Man, get on your shit here.
Dude, I wasn't home.
It's okay, dude. It's okay. At least you got here. So at least you didn't clickbait this live stream.
At least I know I can contact you through Facebook now. So
yeah,
now I can reach you. Anyways, but thanks, Chris, also for joining in. It's a pleasure as always to hang out with you. And D-Man, thanks again. This is your second time on the channel. This time you didn't live stream my live stream.
I did not. Yeah.
I was searching.
Yeah.
Is these live streaming the channel?
You still owe Aiden all those donations you got.
There was like $5.
That's still $5.
Well, $2.50 for
$5.
$2.50. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. No, but yeah, you definitely should Star Wars Bar. There actually is a live stream. He live streamed our live stream.
Yeah, I saw it. I went to that and I looked at it and I looked at it.
You should watch our version. Like we're sitting there, we're wondering why he turned off his camera, and then he's like saying all this weird crap, and then we're like, "What?"
I
and
think
then
he said that I'm Sarasawa for a moment, and then I think is when he started live streaming or something. I don't know. Yeah. I just remember him mentioning he's Sarasawa for like 5 minutes there, and like, okay.
Well, anyways, thank you guys so much for joining in the stream. And
thank you guys. Have a nice day.
Hope you guys enjoyed King of the Monsters. If you haven't seen it, go watch it.
Watch it 20 more times. Beat Aiden's record.
By now we've spoiled the crap out of it. So
yeah,
watch it again.
Yeah. Why would I even say like go watch it? Well, I guess.
Beat Kikizilla's record. Beat his record. He has 5 times more movie. Make it 20. Go
I already beat his record. I'm at 7.
Beat D-Man's record.
I'm not surprised.
Beat D-Man's record because I'm still mad. I only watched it twice. I was gonna watch it 3 times, and that's it.
I'm planning on the 8th here real soon. I think Friday night I might go the 8th.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna once I land this new job, I'm just gonna use all the money to go and watch the movie as many times.
Well, I've
also decided it's like if I'm going and seeing a bad movie or like a movie that I don't really want to see, I'm just gonna buy a ticket to Godzilla instead, and then I'm just gonna go to that other movie.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Okay. Fair enough.
If I ever wind up in the theater watching Dark Phoenix, which won't happen, I will buy a ticket to Godzilla first.
They never played Dark Phoenix in the theater here, so hey, we're fine.
Alrighty, thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
All right, peace. See you guys in